put my medal on. Whose blood to spill, I don't know. Whose side I'm on. Two armies are coming at me. Their flags and weapons look the same. One tells the truth, the other's lying. And they're both calling my name. This is how villains are made. This is how villains are made. Ooh, no one ever starts that way. But this is how villains are made. Time to put my medal on. Whose neck to cut, I don't know. Whose side I'm on. There lies my sanity. There goes my mind, I could not say. I don't trust what I see right in front of me. I don't know who to betray. This is how villains are made. This is how villains are made. So easily we're persuaded. When the lines are blurred and faded. No one ever starts that way. This is how villains are made. This is how villains are made.
Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio is set to be arraigned following his arrest in Washington Monday night. Tarrio is suspected of setting fire to a Black Lives Matter banner stolen.
I'm not going to cry about a group of people that don't give a crap about their constituents.
They call themselves Western chauvinists. They're certainly male-dominated.
And this right here shows you the power when we, the right wing, unite.
Leader of the Proud Boys makes a stunning revelation.
I am a Western chauvinist who refuses to apologize for creating the modern world.
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
Breathe fire like a dragon, killing demons. Go hard, yeah, we gotta seize the day. Hellfire raining down upon my people. If you're gonna bring the heat, we can bury it today. We all been lost, we all been cold. Everyone rise to our brethren call. We got your back, we all been low. Let's all rise to the brethren.
But in no other nation do people enjoy greater freedom, opportunity, and prosperity than here in the United States of America.
USA! 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 USA!
Do you condemn those people? Can you say that right now?
Okay, I can't say that because I think
Why not?
condemn is a very strong word, and I think it's a little bit too strong. Because I'm the head of the organization and I know exactly what we planned and what we didn't plan, and we did not coordinate to assault the Capitol.
Enrique Tarrio is the Proud Boys' current leader. And over the past 4 years, he's seen the group grow from a few guys in a bar to thousands of members across the United States.
Right now, the most important thing that we have going for us is that we all share the same belief. The belief that we should put America first. America first. America first. Who's street? Who's street? We're all Proud Boys. We're all Proud Boys. Fuck Antifa. Fuck Antifa. Fuck Antifa.
Okay, and that worked out perfect for the first time. I didn't think we were going to come on screen. Welcome to the NBLE podcast. This is episode 3. I have a very special guest. Damn it, I'm going to fuck it up again. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Karlyn Borysenko. I'm an analyst and independent journalist that covers the far left.
Okay, awesome. So I want to start with this question.
Sure.
Who is Karlyn Borysenko?
Well, where do you want me to go with that? I mean, so do you want the full story? How much of the story do you want? Because there's a story there.
Let's do about 3. I'll give you about 2-3 minutes there.
All right. So I think
you can use less. It's up to you.
All right. Well, I'll try to give you the too long didn't read for people who have never heard of me. So I kind of came into the political sphere in 2020. I was a Democrat for 20 years. I was, most people might remember me as like literally the knitting Democrat if you see me knitting. And there was a PragerU video about me where I woke up and left the left after social justice took over my knitting community. Kind of did the rounds with the conservative shows in 2020 and then decided I didn't really like conservatives and I became a libertarian. And then I hung out with the libertarians for a couple years. And then I realized that the libertarians weren't really going to accomplish much of anything. And so I kind of stopped hanging around with them. And in the meantime, starting around 2021, I started infiltrating like leftist trainings. I started with DEI trainings and organizations. I would get into their training. I would record them. I would put the training on the internet so that people could see what the left was doing. And that's really what I've been doing for the last 4 years of my life is going inside leftist trainings, documenting them, breaking down the language of the far left. I started going undercover with the far left and Antifa in 2022. I've been to probably a dozen different far left and Antifa events where I document them. I collect their propaganda and their literature. I analyze it. I tell people what the left is doing next. And my work has been continually extremely far ahead of where conservative influencers are with the far left. I know things that the left are doing that, for instance, I've been reporting that the left was attacking the ICE facilities back in January. Most people only caught on to that in June. So that's the type of stuff that I do. And I don't know, we can go from there.
Okay, awesome. A noble cause, I'd like to say. So you said you were an active Dem for 20 years.
Yeah.
When and why did you switch? And the reason why I asked this question, there's these core values with liberalism that doesn't mix very well with conservative values.
Yeah.
So why that switch in 2020, you said, correct?
Yeah. Well, it was in 2019.
Why did you walk away?
So it's actually funny because I was involved with the walkaway movement. I walked away because I'm a knitter and I wasn't really active in politics is the thing is I was an organizational psychologist. I was doing corporate training and, all that sort of stuff. I was in HR during the rise of like DEI training and stuff like that. And so I wouldn't say I was like an active Democrat, but I was definitely on the left and I definitely voted Democrat. What happened is social justice came in and took over my knitting community. They started running around attacking people if they weren't doing the anti-racist training or like posting the BLM square or whatever. And I just thought that was stupid. And I started speaking out against it.
But why would that, and why would that surprise you if you were knitting, what were they called? Pussy hats?
I wasn't, but that's right. That's where the pink pussy hats came from. But you have to understand, I wasn't involved in knitting as a political activity. I was knitting because I like yarn and I like making things with my hands. And so, but you got to understand, like, it was actually really disruptive to the knitting community. They tried to cancel all sorts of, yarn manufacturers, and they were canceling people over stupid things like going on a vacation to India or something dumb. And so it was actually like, I was just like, scrolling through Instagram and I would see all these fights breaking out all the time. And I'm like, can we just talk about yarn? Like, this is stupid and ridiculous.
But when you say you were a liberal, you were just like that you weren't active in the community, but you considered yourself a liberal.
I was active. I was active in Democrat politics right after I graduated from college, but that was in like the early 2000s. By the time all this stuff happened, I was
Mhm.
really kind of checked out on politics. I was not paying attention.
Is there some of those views that you've retained?
No, no,
No, none.
no. And I would say, to be very clear, I'm not a conservative. I've never been a conservative. I'm much further right than most conservatives are.
Okay. Well, you say you're further right than
Mhm.
your typical, like, obviously you're talking about what we today see as conservatives. Do you consider yourself, by the definition of the word, a conservative?
No, not at all. And I never
Okay.
have. No.
Okay. So that leads me to, like, what are your political beliefs? Just like in general, let's start with like the big ones, I guess the controversial ones that we always say is right versus left. What's your stance on abortion?
Well, I am pro-choice myself, but the reason I'm pro-choice is that I've been raped and I don't ever want women who are raped to not have a choice. But like I'm extremely like very much like safe, legal, and rare. I've never had an abortion myself. What I will say is the first undercover event that I ever went to, I actually went to an abortion conference at Hampshire College in Massachusetts. And at the abortion conference, I was taken on a self-managed abortion tour where they literally taught me how to take pills to bleed my baby into the toilet. They actually had an abortion shrine where like you went and worshipped at the altar of the abortion shrine. And I got to tell you, like, that was probably the thing that made me the closest to being pro-life as I have ever been. I think kind of conceptually, I personally would never have an abortion. My only kind of like opening for abortion is I don't want women who did not have a choice to like not have a choice.
So I didn't pull it up because I don't have it.
Mhm.
You were in a video with Pete Buttigieg.
No,
Listen,
well,
I fuck up
yeah.
names all the time, so please.
I wasn't in a video with Pete Buttigieg. I went to a Pete Buttigieg event while I was still a
Okay.
Democrat and took a picture
Okay.
with him while I
Yeah.
was still a Democrat. So that was a
Yeah,
long time ago.
I don't judge people by the pictures they take because look, I have a picture with Donald Trump Jr., which was like, he was passing by. I'm like, all right, let me take a picture. And suddenly Donald Trump Jr. is now working with the leader of the Proud Boys. So I understand that. So, but the reason why I ask you this, because there's also a video of you talking about gender politics at the time. I think you were in your car. So what's your
Yeah.
position now on like on that
Well,
in
again,
that respect?
it's kind of like you guys are taking this is part of the problem is you guys are taking videos from 2019 before I
I,
no, hang on, let me finish, please. Let me
yeah,
finish
yeah, go ahead.
I'll answer the question, but it's just like
Yeah.
you guys are taking videos from 2019 that when I was still a Democrat that don't represent my stance at all today, and I feel like you're looking at those over like literally the thousands of hours of content that I've created on the internet in the past several years, or the fact that I was just on an Antifa hit list in Seattle a couple weeks ago. And so it's kind of like, what's my stance on gender politics now? I think that we should be burning queer books. I don't think that queer theory should be allowed to be published, should be allowed to be taught. I think we should be jailing anyone that wants to teach queer theory, especially to kids. I think we should be taking all the books out of the library and burning them in a giant bonfire in the parking lot. That's my view
Yeah.
today.
Okay.
So,
No,
like,
and just to be fair, like I agree. One, I agree with your new stance, but and I don't bring it up to say, oh well, this is a position she took. It doesn't mean that you can't change your position on it. I know a lot of people use like old clips to say, well, this is what she believes in now. I guess what I'm trying to see is how does somebody switch their position, which is my next question. How does one switch their like those positions? It's not classy of me to ask a woman their age, but usually you switch
cool.
those positions when you're like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
So how did you come about to where you switch radically in those positions?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna, maybe I'm gonna say this to respond to some of the people in the chat. Like, I'm a 44-year-old married woman. I've been married to a man. We just celebrated our 14-year wedding anniversary, and so I find comments about my looks or things like that to be just really reprehensible, to be honest, because it's like I'm a 44-year-old married woman. And by the way, I'm actually much more farther right than my husband is, like to like a significant degree. So my husband doesn't have any my like impact on my political views at all. We have our own lives. But what I will say is like, so how do I change my mind? Like the first time I changed my mind, it wasn't easy, bro. It kind of sucked to wake up and to realize that the political party that I had voted for my entire life had been lying to me. Like that really sucked. And that took several months. And, the way my story got put out there is they said like I went to a Donald Trump rally and I was changed, but that's not what happened. It was like 6 months of research and watching people I thought I would disagree with on the right and asking questions, and then basically going through the process of cognitive dissonance where I woke up and realized, oh, holy shit, the party that I thought I was I was in bed with, I thought they've been lying to me. They've been lying to me my whole life. But the thing of it is once you change your mind once, and I've seen this happen with many people who I know that have left the left, once you change your mind once and you wake up to the fact that like one political party's lying to you, it becomes much easier to do it after that because you learn to identify the signals. You've already been through the process of like understanding that these people are all liars, like all of them are liars. And I think that that's true on both sides. And so it becomes a lot easier to kind of walk away from a political belief after you've woken up than I think it is before that.
Okay. And in these endeavors and in this passion that you created, this newly found passion, you've created multiple projects.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name some of those projects? Let's start. How about this? Did you do any projects that would be construed as, I guess, political in the mid 2000s all the way up until now? And how many of those projects are still around?
So from the mid 2000s, so okay, so my political story really starts mostly in 2020. Prior to 2020, I was an organizational psychologist, and I still did do organizational psychology to a certain extent for several years after that. But I was doing corporate training. I was teaching like the classes where people have to take the psychological profile, and I teach them how to communicate better and stuff like that, which I know might be ironic given what I do now. But that's what I did for about 10 years. Before that, I worked in higher education. And so like I basically did have a complete like career switch when I started doing this stuff online. So since I've been doing this work, I mean, I wrote a book called Actively Unwoke: The Ultimate Guide for Fighting Back Against the Woke Insanity in Your Life. That came out I wrote it in 2021. It came out in 2022. I've written several books since then. I wrote a 400-page book debunking the Communist Manifesto. I have written dystopian fairy tales based off of like the Communist Manifesto and leftist stuff like that. I have my main website is called Decode the Left. That's also the name of my Substack, where I teach people how to decode leftist language so that you understand what they actually mean in their presentations and their videos and stuff like that. And the newest project that I'm spending most of my time on right this the second is called the Center for Left-Wing Studies. This is a nonprofit that I've started basically to provide a research environment and a think tank where we are trying to map out the modern activist left so that we can get a handle on how big the problem is.
So, and then just on that second question, how those projects that you started, because you started a lot of projects.
Yeah, I have a lot of projects. Yeah.
How many of those are still around right now?
Red Menace Press is my publishing company. That's still around right now. Decode the Left is very successful. That's still around right now. The Center for Left-Wing Studies is just getting up and running. I literally just started it a couple months ago, but I do have a very excited and active.
Are you crotcheting right now? Is that what
I am knitting, my friend. I am knitting. Okay. Do not disrespect the knitting, but yes, right. I am. But yeah, I mean, so my main projects are all still around. I also have a couple of like a merchandise store. I have a YouTube channel and all this stuff. And so, yeah, everything is still around that I
okay.
Named.
Okay. So this conversation between me and you I usually stay out of, Twitter beefs altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But this conversation started because you held some arguments with some people that I know, people that I've worked with for quite a long time.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Because those people are lying about me.
Yeah. And these are people that I trust that have been around for a long time. And we've been doing work in Portland for a long time. Some of them are newer to the game. And this all stems from Portland, and it stems from advice that I gave you, and I didn't know. I was honest in the beginning of the tweet, and I said that I didn't know much about your work. Now I'm a little bit more educated in your work. Um, so what I do see a pattern of, and feel free to correct me,
Oh, I will.
is that these changes, these huge changes that you're having, whether you were a liberal before and jumped in, and in the beginning of the conversation, when you were introducing yourself, you said that you started as a conservative in the movement, then moved to libertarian. Like, you keep jumping from place to place. And what I do see, granted, going through your social media, and you've been banned off social media. You've been banned
No.
off Twitter before, or
No.
you've
Oh,
had your
well,
account?
I was banned off of Twitter for like a month, and then it came back in.
Okay. Okay. So what I do notice is a pattern where your personality gets in the way
Mm.
of your work. And that's one of the criticisms that I had in the beginning,
Well,
is that
so
and I'll
Mhm.
let you
Okay.
go ahead and go through it.
Okay.
But you have these projects, and they pull on your emotions, because on your name it says anti-communist, and
Mhm.
I've been an anti-communist since the day I was born. My family came from Cuba. We know what it is. I've traveled to Cuba. I've seen it. I've witnessed it firsthand, which a lot of people say they're anti-communist, right? But I don't think anybody's ever traveled to a communist country and actually seen it. And that anti goes from anti to hate, right? And hating that ideology is part of my entire person, right? I
Mhm.
hold that dear. Um, so you came back at me pretty strong,
Mhm.
and we went on our back and forth. But the thing that triggered that response was, you said that a member of Antifa, right, this Chandler guy,
Yeah.
did not put somebody that was covering the event in a chokehold,
Correct.
and the facts don't support your claim.
I have to disagree with you. And the thing of it is, so I want to go back, and so you actually mischaracterized, and this is part of the problem. And listen, Enrique, I actually don't have any beef with you. I don't know you. I've actually like, over the course of my time in politics, every Proud Boy that I've met, I've actually really enjoyed being around and have appreciated. But what I will say is, you mischaracterized me from the very start, where you said you were a conservative. I was never a conservative. And if you go back and you actually listen to the speeches that I gave in 2020 when I was traveling with the Walkaway campaign, including when I gave at a giant rally in DC where I was hanging out with the Proud Boys for half the time, I literally said in that speech in 2020, I am not a conservative. My role in 2020 was, I am a former Democrat. I don't want to vote for the Democrats. I thought at that time Trump was a better option, and I wanted more people to be able to see that, and that was really it. And so it is a mischaracterization to say I was ever a conservative, because I was always extremely clear in everything that I did that I was never a conservative. And so that's where the problem really begins, is with what happens with a lot of these online things, is you have people, and this has absolutely been the case with the people that are complaining about me from Portland. By the way, there are also people in Portland that I have very good relationships with, who are looking at all the chaos and the nonsense, and streamers that you would probably know of that have been streaming outside the ICE facility. They're looking at that whole crowd in Portland, and they're going, they're the ones that are actually causing the problem. And so when people get mad at me on the internet, what they do is they take things out of context. They take pictures from when I was still a Democrat, and they ignore a massive amount of information that contradicts the smear campaign that they're trying to run on me online. So you want to say I have personality issues and that's holding my work back. My work has literally never been more successful than it is right now, and has been over the course of the last year. I have more financial supporters now than I've ever had. I have more people sharing my work than I've ever had. I have a massive team of volunteers that are literally working for me for free for my nonprofit to help map that modern activist left. My work is highly successful. I'm one of the most successful independent journalists covering the far left in America, and I have been for several years. And again, the body of my work, when you actually look at what I've done, it bears all this out. And so I have a hard time when I have a group of people, and I'm not saying you did this, and I understand why you got caught up in it, but like I have a hard time when I have a group of people taking one thing out of context, ignoring a massive amount of data, and then trying to attack me for it. And I'll just be very honest, in the years that I've been covering the far left has known who I am. They preemptively ban me from events. They put me on hit piece walls. I have to use fake names for every single thing I do. If I go to a far left event, I have to go to it in a disguise because they're going to beat me up if they know who I am. And so they have known who I am for years. But the ironic thing about my work is I have been attacked significantly more by the right than I was ever attacked by the far left. And this latest thing in Portland is just another example of that. So my position on the chokehold is I saw that blonde girl laughing and joking with Chandler and Chandler's girlfriend about an hour after the fact. And I was there in Portland when it happened. I was on the ground. That fight happened right in front of me. That was a fight where Chandler pulled the blonde girl off of his girlfriend. And you may not have liked how he did it, but like he let her go. He didn't hurt her. There were no bruises. There was nothing wrong. The two girls were fighting and the men pulled them apart. And that's what happened. And if the blonde girl really, hang on, please let me finish. If the blonde girl really had, and I promise I'll be quick. If the blonde girl really had a problem, she should have pressed charges with the police. You're telling me you have a chance to jail the quote unquote leader of Antifa in Portland and you're not pressing charges. And not only are you not doing that, you're hanging out with his girlfriend an hour after the fact and laughing and joking like you're at a slumber party and you're making up with Antifa. I actually care about defeating Antifa. I'm not making up with them and laughing and joking like I'm at a slumber party, you know? So that's my position.
So let me, and I hear what you're saying, but again, I state, and I'm going to show you a picture and then I'm going to show you a video.
All right. We're not going to agree on this, but okay. Fine.
No, I'm not, I've wholeheartedly, I've had people in here before that I agree to disagree on it, but let me show you the first exhibit, which is a picture. And, let me full screen it. Is that Chandler?
That is Chandler. Yeah.
And is that, I believe her name is Serena.
Yeah, I refer to as the blonde girl that's trying to sleep with all the conservative influencers in Portland because that's what she's trying to do.
Yeah. Oh, wait, before we move forward, Rob, when you hit that button, it kind of mutes her. So try to find a pause, in between before you hit the button. But, okay. So this picture is Chandler and Serena together, and he has his arm around her neck. And that's not a chokehold.
He was pulling her off of his girlfriend, and I don't think he had her very strongly, and I think he held her that way for a couple of seconds before he let her go. So I don't think that this is anything that I'm going to be complaining about for literally 2 weeks after the fact, especially when the blonde girl was laughing with Chandler's girlfriend less than an hour later.
So I'm going to go ahead and play this video, and I'm going to let the audience decide here. And you guys feel free to go on the comment section and tell me if this is a chokehold. Obviously, we already know that I'm not going to agree with our guest here, and she's not going to agree with me and some of you that are on there. But let's go ahead and let's play this.
Hands off. Give me the camera, Judy. Chandler, let it go. Give me the camera, Judy.
Oh, it's slowed down for dramatic effect.
What's
for dramatic effect. Slowed down for dramatic effect.
Yeah. So look.
Why didn't you press charges?
Well, before we get to that, because I do want to talk about that, because you made an interesting point. Why were they? Because they were chummy.
Yeah.
After this, they were chummy, and I'll give you my insight on that based on what I know, and I've talked to a couple parties. I have not talked to Chandler. I don't have communication with him, but regardless of the fact, so you stay. I already know how you're going to answer. You state that this was not a chokehold. And the reason why it slows down is because you could see her trying to fight the squeeze from Chandler's.
She was fighting his girlfriend.
Listen, I wholeheartedly agree.
You're
If somebody
telling me you've
touches my
never been
chick,
around two women in a cat fight and you're not going to pull
but
them apart? Come on, bro.
but that's an now that's the argument. Look, if somebody touches my chick, I don't care what gender they are, they're getting fucking knocked in the face.
Exactly.
But that's not your argument. Your argument is that this wasn't a chokehold. Right? If your argument, I wouldn't have even like bothered to even comment because I tried to stay away from this whole thing from the beginning. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not jumping in. But the moment that you said it's not a chokehold, it's different than, well, you know what? He had the right to do that. And that could be argued, but I don't think it could be argued that that was a chokehold.
Enrique, do you know what my real argument is in all of this? Do you know what my real
go
argument is?
ahead, please.
This is fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. It is a stupid argument that has now been, this was almost 2 weeks ago. It is a stupid argument that's been droning on for 2 weeks, and no one's actually interested in the truth at this point. And at this point, I think it's a purity spiral, and I think it's a tribalist exercise to try to force people to agree with other people that they don't agree with. We're allowed to disagree. She didn't press charges. She should have if it was really that bad, but everyone needs to move on. This was 2 weeks ago.
Hey, Pen, can you do me a favor? Can you put a poll up under my feed and see what the audience thinks, whether it's a chokehold or not? So okay, let's move on because again, we're not going to agree to disagree, but let's move on to the chumminess after. So number one, I've been in these positions before. And why the question is, why didn't she press charges? Well, a lot of people don't want to fucking deal with Portland Police Bureau. I've had to deal with Portland Police Bureau multiple times. And then there's a thing, you don't call the cops, right? So I'm not going to hit up Serena for not calling the cops because they've been a useless pile of rubble for many years. And we've been going to Portland since 2017, and we've been screaming at the top of our lung. And the only time that we were successful, it wasn't with Portland Police Bureau. We went over there to see if Donald Trump at that time in 2018, 19, and 20, to try and see if we could get Donald Trump to classify Antifa as a domestic terrorist entity. 5-6 years later, our pleas were heard, and it did happen. And I think,
such as it is.
And if you read into, we've talked about this on the show before. If you read that executive order, it's not really focused on the individuals. It's more focused on the funding platform, which I do want to talk about later because that's something else that you said. But I'm not going to hit up to finish up on this topic, and I'll let you rebut. It's not odd to see that. And look, Serena, I don't think I would have been chummy with this person. She has the right to be to talk to her like she did. I wouldn't do it personally, but there is the woman, I believe, was pleading with her in such a fashion. I will never give the benefit of the doubt to them. And I probably would have just smashed her in the face if she would have came up to me again. But that doesn't mean that what would happen with Chandler or the Chandler's girlfriend at the time was not wrong on their part. We can argue again whether I don't want to argue anymore about the chokehold thing. You could argue, you'd be like, well, that's his girlfriend and he does what he wants, but that's not the argument you made. So the reason why I think, and she has the right to be, but the reason for not calling the cops is pretty obvious.
Yeah, I guess the argument that I made is I think this whole thing is stupid and ridiculous. If you care so much about defeating Antifa and you have an opportunity to get a member of Antifa arrested with clear, incontrovertible video, then I think that that's at least worth doing. And this whole idea that we don't go to the cops, I beg to differ because I was actually physically hit by two MAGA people outside of the Portland ICE facility because they thought I was Antifa and they attacked me. And I'll tell you, I just had an interesting conversation with the Portland police 2 days ago because the nonsense online, the nonsense online got so great and so ridiculous over this issue that I actually called the Portland police and I was like, I feel like I need to just get my side of the story on the record here just so you guys have it. And what I found out is the MAGA person who physically hit me called the cops on me and tried to get me arrested because I stuck my middle finger in his face and I told him to fuck off when he was yelling at me like an unhinged woman. And so, like, this whole idea that we don't go to the cops, I beg to differ, because one of the MAGA people that's causing all the problems online actually called the cops on me to try to get me wrongly arrested.
Has he admitted to that?
Yeah, he did admit to that. Yeah, but I didn't actually believe it until I talked to the police the other day, and they told me that, yeah, he called us. And
But that wasn't Serena, right?
No, it wasn't
That wasn't
Serena, but it was,
Okay.
but it was absolutely one of the MAGA people that's running around with all these people in Portland online, the ones that you were talking to, and he's creating all sorts of problems. And this is my bigger point: is like, this is stupid. Do you know I've done multiple leftist infiltrations since this all happened? No one's talking about any of those. They're running around lying about me and calling me secret Antifa. Like,
I have a whole section on that we're gonna
Cool.
talk about at the end about your personal work.
Yeah.
So walk me through, because I've seen the videos. Walk me through that instance where you walked in and these MAGA people supposedly assaulted you.
Yeah, so what happened was I was recording something in the Antifa tent, and there was really just nothing much going on.
How long were you there before that?
Not really that long. How long was I in Portland, or how long was I at the tent?
Oh, no, at the, I guess, at the event.
I was at the event. I believe this happened on, oh gosh, did this happen on Thursday?
No, not on the day. I'm saying, like, when you walked into the ice facility
I was there.
before this happened.
I was there for hours and hours and hours. Like, and there were a lot of people there who knew who I was. There were a lot of people there who knew who I was before I even got there. And so, but this guy didn't, and his friends didn't, because they were just showed up and they were drinking outside the ice facility, which is what a lot of people are doing. And so I was recording something in the Antifa tent, and basically nothing was really happening. And so I shut my video camera off and I turned around and I walked back on the sidewalk towards where Tommy was standing. When I walked back past this guy on the sidewalk, he started screaming and acting like an unhinged lunatic. He claimed that I hit him. He claimed that and I was like, bro, I didn't even touch you. Like, honestly, get out of my face. Like, I did not touch you. And he just kept screaming at me. Now, he later admitted to multiple people he was drunk and he thought I was Antifa because I was wearing black. Now, I was wearing an anti-communist t-shirt. I had Joseph McCarthy on my t-shirt, and I had a sweatshirt on that said unwoke on it, and he just didn't bother to read because he was drunk and not paying attention, but it was in fact a black sweatshirt. So he started screaming at me because he thought I was Antifa. I turned around.
Was the McCarthy thing on the sweatshirt or the shirt?
It says it was on my t-shirt. People saw me on Fox News recently. It was the same shirt I wore. It was bright black and red with Joseph McCarthy pointing at you saying, "Are you an anti-communist?" I had a sweatshirt on that said unwoke art on it, which used to be the name of my merch store. And so I basically started yelling at him. I was like, I am like, leave me alone, essentially. And he just kept yelling at me, and you hit me, you hit me, you hit me. I didn't touch this guy. And so then I stuck my middle finger a couple inches away from his face, and I said, "Leave me the fuck alone." And he basically he kept walking towards me, and then he fucking hit me. And was it a hard hit? No, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to make a big fucking deal. But when that happened, a bunch of MAGA people who, again, were brand new and just showed up and hadn't been there before and were all drinking outside the MAGA facility or the ICE facility, they all showed up and started encircling me and started shouting at me. Another person from another angle hit me. And so at this point, I'm like in the center of a group of drunk MAGA retards who think I'm Antifa, who are shouting at me. And am I going to shout back at them? Yeah, you're damn right I am. And so that's what happened. And then a clip got circulated on the internet that just showed me shouting like a crazy person. And I can understand why people thought that looked crazy. But the fact of the matter is, I'd already been hit by two of these people. None of them knew who I was. They were all shouting at me like I was Antifa. I actually felt in much more physical danger from the MAGA people than I was by Antifa in that particular circumstance.
Okay, so judging by what I saw in the video, and I'm going by what I saw in the video.
The whole video?
Yeah, I got to see the whole video.
Okay.
Judging by it, you came in. You couldn't really read the shirt. There's a shot of you where I can't even see.
Giant picture of Joseph McCarthy on the shirt.
Yeah, but you had a zip up.
Not over the shirt, though. Not over the shirt.
Okay. You came in dressed in black. You came into an area where maybe some people knew you. Maybe some people didn't.
A lot of people knew me. Yeah.
But you came in there and you came in there like a wrecking ball.
No, I didn't. I was being very, very quiet. and I wasn't bothering anyone until this guy started shouting at me. So apparently you have not seen the whole video because he started it by shouting at me.
Okay. I've been in situations before where we've confused people in DC, and I've actually knocked somebody almost cold, clocked him out because he came up to me dressed in black. I had to apologize after that because I did take action against this person. He was in my space. But I did see that you came in, and I don't see those issues coming from a lot of people that are in that space or were in that space or currently still are in that space. And I just constantly, and I see there's always infighting. It's just in this situation, there's a constant, right? And the constant that I saw on the ground that day was you. The constant that
I see are content creators who are grifting off the situation. So we're going to disagree on that.
Well, I don't think
I was there just fine with other content creators. It was this specific group that is causing the problem. And I'm not the only person who thinks they're causing the problem.
Well, thankfully for that group has done a lot of good. That's one of the reasons why having gone to Portland. But I think the exposing that we saw is pushing the country to see what's actually happening in Portland, the lawlessness that's been going on in Portland for a long time. So I'm very appreciative of the work they do.
Yeah, again, I guess
a lot of people.
I just have to really
they
disagree with that.
Hold on, and I'll let you go ahead.
Okay.
And what I see a lot of is when people disagree, they try to find everything that they can to kind of claw back that credibility that comes with it. And I don't see it from them. I do see it from you.
Yeah, well, the
Go
thing
ahead.
of it is, Enrique, I really disagree that group has done a lot of good. There are people on the ground who have done a lot of good. You've got people like Honey Badger Mom, who has been out there since day one. And by the way, this group is now harassing her. Just so you know, they're harassing her because she's friends with me and she won't disavow me. But she has been out there since day one, just sitting there filming outside the ICE facility. She has been attacked multiple times. They actually made buttons about her. Antifa made buttons glorifying her getting beat up. And again, this is like an older woman who's just sitting there with a video camera filming them. She has done a lot of good. She has exposed a lot of stuff. Katie Davis Court has done a lot of good. Also a person that's been out there since day one, had gotten literally beat up by Antifa. And she's done a lot of good. I think that there are people I look like Ocean Plot. Ocean Plot's been out there. You got Portland Andy's been out there. You got Velly Ray who's been out there. I think all of those people have done a lot of good. And a lot of those people have been talking about this issue before it was viral on the internet. I'm talking about the people who showed up to cash in on it, who it's great entertainment. I watch it on my streams. Great entertainment. But do I think they're actually doing good? No, I don't. I think they're cashing in on it for content so they can make money on the internet.
I think most of those people know that there's not a lot of money in this industry. I think as somebody who's been on the internet for a very long time, if people are chasing money in this industry, they're gonna be sadly mistaken.
I would tend to agree with that.
So let's talk about two more people that you have issues with, and one is was there on the ground a lot of the times, and then the other one hasn't been on the ground in Portland in at least on the ground that I've seen.
Oh, I know who you're talking about there. Cool.
So let's talk about Chad Canton.
Okay.
You said that Chad was going over there and assaulting people. Wait,
no, not exactly what I said.
What did I hear in my ear right now? Was that one? I can't pronounce his name, dude. Canton, right? Like there's a fucking Chinese place down the street, and nobody can hear you. By the way, if you're gonna come in, but I'm gonna keep calling him Canton.
Okay.
Yes, I don't care. I know you could hear that. The audience can't hear that, but for the most part, so you're saying that Chad's out there trying to assault people.
I think he's trying to instigate people. I think those are two different things.
Well, instigate people. But again, the video does not show that.
The video does show that, actually. The video clearly, are you serious? The video that I have that I put on my Twitter clearly shows that. And I said to Chad, are you going to show my video or are you going to show his video? That's his video. That's not my video.
Okay, so if you could say,
That's his video. No. This is not what I'm talking about. This
okay,
is
well,
not
we'll
what
show
I'm
you. We'll
talking
show your
about.
video.
This is not what I'm talking about. Not what I'm talking about. Not what I'm talking about. You're gonna Oh my God, this is so disingenuous. This is not what I'm talking about.
You're gonna stop fucking hitting people with the goddamn umbrella, right?
Umbrella broken.
Not what I'm talking about. Not what I'm talking about. Wrong
So
video.
we'll pull
Completely
up your
wrong
video in a
video.
second, but
Sure.
before you let's get a generalized sense of what's
But
going
this is
on there.
Enrique, do you understand why this is frustrating for me though? Because this is now like you keep, and again, I have no personal beef with you, bro, but you've brought up stuff out of context. You've lied
I
about me.
haven't. I've let you
You've shown the wrong video. You're not actually
I
hinging into
wanted to show
reality
you
with what I
Chad's
actually
video.
said.
If you
It's
want me to show your
extremely
video, I'll show
frustrating.
you. But
Well, I mean, but this is the problem though. This is the problem. It's like this is not about getting to truth.
so
This is about you guys are mad
generally,
that I contradicted you on the internet, and that's all it is.
well, when somebody gets challenged, obviously they get a little defensive. I get it.
I'm
But
not
the
being defensive.
problem
I want you
is
guys to tell the truth
problem
based on
is
things that are real, not
so
bullshit
are
that
you
you've made up for
denying the assaults that happen and the
No,
fact
and
that
if you
they
listen
touched
to the
you
video,
first?
no, well, Antifa didn't touch me. It was actually MAGA that touched me
Well,
first.
I'm not
But
saying you. I'm just saying in
no,
general.
and if you listen to the video that I made on this specific topic, I flat out said
I'll
that I
share it.
saw
I'll share
Antifa.
it right after this, and
Okay,
people could
but
make a
this is
decision on it.
this
But
is the
Karlyn,
thing is no.
Karlyn, you're
No,
saying that
Karlyn. My
these
name is
people,
Karlyn.
Karlyn, sorry,
Thank you.
Karlyn, you're saying that these people, and again, this is something that I know because I've been there.
Yeah.
These people do assault you. These people
I
do touch
said
you
they
without
do.
permission. No,
I
I get
said
it.
they do.
So when Chad reacts to that,
Chad
and
wasn't just reacting to that.
JD, thank you for saying that I'm being so gracious. I try to be nice
Well,
with
JD,
everybody that I go in
another
here.
person that's lied about me online recently. Isn't that funny?
I actually invite JD to join us on this
I
stream.
think he should. I think he should answer
I think
for why
JD
he
should
shared
join
it.
us on the
I
stream.
think
I
he
think
should
he's
answer for
busy.
why he shared a
I
clip
talked
out
to
of
him
context
earlier.
about me to make me look like a leftist because he's lying to his
But
audience.
I feel like in this instance, and I've known Chad for a little bit too, and he will defend himself, and he will defend himself.
Yeah, the
very
problem
strongly.
in the incident that I'm talking about that I recorded directly myself, Chad was not defending himself. Chad was instigating with Antifa to make content on the internet, and I didn't even talk about this at the time. I didn't talk about this until a week and a half of me dealing with bullshit and nonsense, people trying to cancel my work, people telling people I'm secret Antifa, and I held all of this back, and I didn't show it, and I didn't enumerate it on the internet, even though I thought it at the time. Chad was instigating with Antifa to create content on the internet. If he wants to do that, more power to him. But I gave him the opportunity to show videos saying that I was wrong, to show videos saying Antifa instigated the fight that I specifically recorded, and he declined to do that, and his response was, I don't owe you shit. Well, fine, but I have the video that I recorded that clearly shows that he was the instigator, that Antifa was going like this, and Chad was saying he was going to beat them up, and Antifa is going like this. Now, do I have any problem believing that those two little shits were causing problems before? No, I saw them causing problems, and I said that. It's like specifically. But in that instance, it was absolutely Chad instigating, and that was not the only instance in which they instigated for content, because later, like the following night, they showed up at Chandler's house out of nowhere at 1 a.m. screaming and getting him out of bed and just causing commotion and ruckus. Chandler didn't do anything to instigate that.
So let me go ahead and touch that, and I'd say
Yeah.
that I am further right than you are.
Well, you don't really know most of my politics, though.
Well, let's start with what you said, the burning
Sure.
of queer books. I believe that if touch, physically assaulting these people is right, just, and the only way to handle it. Them going to Chandler's house after putting, I don't know, did this happen after the chokehold incident?
It happened, I think, it happened on Saturday night, so whatever that was after the chokehold.
So I fully support that. I fully support going where these people live. I fully support
So
confronting
you
them.
support instigating, and that's fine.
I
You're allowed to
I
support
I
instigating, but I don't.
I don't think that's instigation.
Well,
I think I could say that at this point, Chad and the rest of the patriots that are out there, like
Patriots.
JD, are counter terrorists at this point.
I
Um,
disagree. I think that if you're telling someone you're gonna beat the shit out of them, if you're showing up at someone's house in the middle of the night when they aren't
mm,
doing anything and you're opening their door with a mob
but
of
they are
people.
doing something.
But
They
Chandler's
are.
really
uh,
not is the thing. He's not,
mm,
actually.
Well, I think the crowd says that the chokehold did happen, but again,
Well,
we are
I
not going to
see
agree
see, like, Enrique,
here.
though, but you're enumerating the reasons why I don't want to appeal to everyone on the internet, because I think that if people are going to obsess over this 2 weeks after the fact, I think they're stupid, and I don't think they're smart enough to follow my content, so
Well,
sorry.
we're gonna touch your content and your research,
Yeah,
like I
I'm
said,
sure we will.
later. So let's move to Andy.
Sure.
And when I say Andy, I say Andy. No,
Yes.
and one of the reasons, what the main reason we went to Portland in big numbers the first time was because Andy No was assaulted with a concrete milkshake.
Yep.
About a month later, because I had contact with Andy at the time, I said that we're going back to Portland, and us going back to Portland was very, very peaceful. There was no arrests or no assaults on our side. We were able to get 53 of them arrested in one day. Local prosecutors obviously knocked off half of those charges, and then dropped down. And I think only 2 of the 53 got felony charges for their acts that day. So I consider it a very, very successful act. And if I count the counter protests across the country, because we were going to Portland, there was a grand total of about 70 high arrests that happened that day, and some of those charges did stick. Andy No, after that, I think that changed him completely, and he's been a person that has created a library, an encyclopedia, one would say, of these left-wing
No,
terrorists.
he hasn't, but I disagree, but that's okay.
And
Keep going.
he's able to find exact people that were in Portland uh, uh, committing these acts, and
Yeah.
he's done an amazing job of it. And I think that you had a personal issue with him, and then
No.
because of that, you're shitting on his work.
No, wrong
Um,
again, incorrect,
I,
and I would refer people to the stream I did on this specific issue very
Mhm.
recently where I lay all this out. There's no personal issue with Andy. I've never personally disliked Andy. My issue with Andy is not with his work that he did back then when you're talking about, which I think was very, very good. And I fundamentally have a default respect for anyone who goes into the streets and is recording these people. I have nothing but praise for the work he did back then. I have nothing but praise for the book that he wrote on Antifa, which I think is very good. My criticism of Andy No, and I have released the private DMs saying this because people like you keep saying it's something different than what it is that I tried to talk to Andy back in May about this Antifa narrative that he's pushing that is not real. There is militant queer activism on the far left. They're called the Bashback movement. I have been documenting this because I'm writing a book about it. It is very real. It is very dangerous. It is very violent. And if people do not know what the proper name of the movement is, and if people do not understand what's going on, then this is not a problem that can be fixed. Antifa is not a real thing. It is the legitimate movement is called the Bashback movement, and they are very dangerous. My grievance with Andy is that he was misinforming his audience about what the left is doing. I provided Andy privately with ample evidence of this back in May. I have documented that I provided Andy with this evidence. He ignored it. He refused to look at it, and then he continued to lie to his audience. And as someone who spends my days teaching people about the left, I find it personally offensive when influencers are lying to their audience to lift up a narrative because Andy is trying to write a book about this to make more money and retain the clout that he has. And the issue I have too is that Andy has not done real journalism in years and years and years. Andy is a Twitter journalist who has other people do his research for him. And I happen to know that he is the one with the personal beef with me because he is the one that is having his people who do his research for him email and DM people lying about me to try to discredit my work. So my beef with Andy was purely intellectual, and then it became a personal thing when he started attacking me because he could not intellectually defend his arguments.
I
That's the beef.
think I disagree with you wholeheartedly. I
Then
think
you haven't
Andy
looked at
has
the
to
evidence.
continue. We'll talk about the evidence and we'll talk
Yeah,
about your
okay.
website.
Yeah, cool.
But I notice a pattern again that
That I
when
don't
you
like
agree
liars.
when
That I
that
don't
you
like people lying
disagree
in
with
public.
somebody and you try to pull all the stops and you say it's not a chokehold and you say, well, no, not really.
It's
This
not a
Chad,
chokehold. Like,
it's definitely a chokehold.
yeah,
But
okay. 2 weeks later, you idiots are still obsessed about that fucking thing. Then report him to the fucking cops. Then press
nobody wants to
charges.
report. Nobody
Then
wants
you're
to.
all a bunch
Your
of
faith.
pussies that don't want to get Antifa arrested. I'm so sick of this argument. It is so ridiculous. Like, do you want to do anything that actually matters in the world, or you guys want to keep bitching
Your
and
faith
complaining
in the
about
Portland Police
chokeholds?
Bureau
No,
is on.
I have no faith in the Portland Police Bureau. The point is
Then why
that
did you
couldn't have
call them
tried
and
to
you
do
called
something.
them?
Why did the MAGA person try to get
How
me
many
arrested after he hit me?
how many times did you call the cops on Antifa while you were in
Oh,
Portland?
I've called the cops many times on Antifa. I've had many conversations
While you were in
with
Portland
cops.
on that trip?
Not while I was in Portland on that trip, because nothing happened between me and Antifa in Portland on that trip, but I've been going undercover with the far left for
Did
literally
you
years.
see them assault anybody while you were there?
Yes.
You didn't call the cops at that point.
It wasn't me they assaulted. The person who they assaulted should have called the cops. They didn't assault me. They assaulted other people.
So you had a chance. You had a chance
No,
to put one
they
in
had a
jail and
chance.
you didn't.
They had a chance. I can't report things that happen to other people.
Yes, you
because
could.
Well,
You
that
could
I'm choosing
report
not to,
things.
but I'm saying if something had happened to me, if they had assaulted me, if they had broken my phone, would I have called the cops? You're goddamn right I would have. Absolutely. If I can get Antifa in trouble even for one day, I will call the cops on them. And if nothing ever happens, then nothing ever happens. But nothing happened to me. It happened to other people. And those people should absolutely call the cops and report it.
So on this tweet,
What does that say?
it says, I'm
Yes.
calling the Portland police today and sending them the video of the MAGA
Yes.
retard who
A
hit
week
me.
and a half later, after he had already called the cops on me.
What they did you know? But you said that you didn't know that he called the
No,
cops
I didn't
until
know
you called.
because he was bragging about it on Twitter, but the cops confirmed it. I thought he might be lying on Twitter because I never heard from the cops, but the cops confirmed it when I called them.
You also said that you were going to send these images and videos to left-wing outlets. Is that correct?
I may have made a threat about that, but I didn't actually do that.
Okay.
But the thing of it is if people
But
are
you
going to
understand
come
why
at me-
people would be pissed at
I
you for
don't,
doing
but
that,
I don't
right?
give a fuck if people are pissed at me.
I
These
gotta-
people are trying to destroy my work and destroy my business, and they've been lying about me for weeks. And you know what? When someone lies, I let it go for several days, but this nonsense has kept going weeks after the fact. They're the ones continuing to talk about me. I've already moved on to other stuff. They're the ones continuing to tell everyone I'm secret Antifa when I was literally just, did you know, Enrique, there was a socialist book publisher that did a whole presentation where communists were crying about me on the internet yesterday because they're so pissed off that I keep exposing them. The far left is talking about me. The far left is not talking about you guys because you guys don't even factor on their radar. They're doing whole fucking presentations about me.
Oh, well, when you say you guys, let's
all of you in Portland, all of you. Like,
okay. Because I think I have more research.
Another smear video where Karlyn
So
is
no,
yelling.
I'm not gonna show the video. But
where I am yelling. Yes,
I'm not.
a video
I'm not.
where
I'm
I
not.
am yelling.
Karlyn,
Are we talking about my looks now? You gonna ride me for my looks? Is that
no,
what
no.
this is about?
Actually, look. If that's the first thing you think of when you see this video,
Well, that's all I've been hearing on Twitter for the last several weeks because it's all you guys can talk about is how a 44-year-old married woman looks.
So no, listen, look, I'm not gonna. Obviously, I shitpost on the internet just as much as everybody else, but this is not a shitpost. I'm going back to when you said, look, it's clearly visible.
It is visible. That's Joseph McCarthy, bro.
Well, let's start with a couple things here.
Joseph McCarthy.
Hold on, give me 1 second, Karlyn. So you have a zip-up hoodie that's closed. I don't see.
When are we going to get to actually talking about my work? Because I've been talking to you for an hour now.
We will.
Yeah,
and then you have a satchel.
Right, bro.
You have a satchel over. And look. I don't expect there's a lot of people that know what McCarthy looks like.
And those people are stupid.
I could. Listen, look, and I agree with you. Those people should know what McCarthy looks like.
You're not an anti-communist if you don't know Joseph McCarthy. I'm sorry.
But I think that people should know who McCarthy is, but at this point, I don't think people could even see who McCarthy is.
Well, I think
Because
drunk people certainly couldn't see it.
yeah. So again, I'm not putting this up to make fun of your looks or anything like
Yeah,
that.
you are,
Again,
but that's okay, bro.
I
I
shit
know how
post.
this
I
game is
shit post
played.
like the
Believe
best
me,
of
I
them.
know how this game
But
is
I'm
played.
bringing
That's
it up
exactly
because
what you're
you
doing.
said that you can't see. You're dressed in all black.
God forbid
I
people
don't
wear
shit.
black in
I
the
don't,
world.
listen, you color your hair, but
I
remember the
do, yeah.
environment that you're in. And I try to, when I go somewhere, I try to keep.
See, but you
I
and
try
I
to be
apparently have different
observative of
values.
who's around me. So if somebody
I
in
know.
black were to come up with like reddish hair, we're in Portland, it's kind of like, when you're walking down the street, I'm going to make this joke and maybe some people don't like it. When you're walking down the street as a woman, right? And like, there's a black dude walking down, you're going to grab your purse. You could be like, oh shit,
well,
something's going to fucking go down. It's kind of the same thing here. It's a stereotype, but most times I'd say if you're walking down Portland and you see a woman in black with pink hair, this person might not be on your side.
Well, then
Right?
if that's the case, then you know what, Enrique? I will actually gain credibility if one of these MAGA retards actually beats me up one day. My work will explode about that because I got to tell you guys think that the only people on the internet are the ones that agree with you. There are a lot of people who don't like you and don't like this attitude. And the thing of it is, if you guys want to put hands on me because I'm wearing black, if you guys want to beat me up, that will only make me stronger. It will only make my work go further with the audience that I actually want. So that's okay.
So let's go ahead and dive into your work, and I'm gonna give you what I saw in your work, and then you could go ahead and rebut it or say that this is accurate.
Totes.
And I've looked through your website. I've seen a lot of books. I've seen a lot of you have what's that called? It's like an hour-long video where you're showing them about the left.
Well done.
So I do see a lot of things that would show people, who you are. But what I don't see, and I see a lot of subscription buttons and follow me and subscribe to me.
Oh.
Actually, in one of the comments is you haven't supported my work, which I replied. I'm like, what am I supposed to subscribe to you to support your work? And what I don't see is
what did I say to you was I didn't care.
yeah. So what I don't see is a lot of data and the things that you do infiltrate. The things that you do infiltrate are public spaces, which cool. We've done. That's fine, but you make it seem like you're embedded in the group. I don't see chat logs.
In the groups.
I don't see people. I don't see a map of people. So what that leads me to believe,
we're literally working on that, you fucking idiots. That's literally what we're fucking doing.
But you've been doing this since 2020, so
yes, and it's been an evolution since 2020. I've been. I
don't see the maps. I don't see the list. Like when you go out and look again, let me finish and I'll let you rebut these points.
I cannot wait to show this on my channel because you're gonna look so dumb.
and with Andy No, you say that Andy No, but at least when somebody gets arrested, Andy No pulls out the whole fucking docket. I mean, this guy goes in, tells you where he lives, what he does, what he's done in the past.
Enrique,
I don't see that from you. And to be honest with you,
do you know who Tom Alter is? Do you know who Tom Alter is?
Give me 1 second.
Tom Alter
give me 1 second, and I'll let you finish. But I do see what I see here is a lot of smoke but no fire.
Hey, do you know who Tom Alter is, Enrique? Look up Tom Alter real quick. TOMALTER. Tom Alter. Go look him up right now.
You could tell the people here what it is, but please let me finish.
I will.
So I don't see what I see is a lot of I see a lot of stop. No, go ahead. Believe me, I've been attacked by worse. Namely the United States government, and I'm still here standing. I've been doing this for a long time, and I told you this. Beware the old soldier. People that have been around doing this for a long time have lasted for one reason and one reason alone. They know exactly how to play this game. I feel like you're going to crash and burn.
I've been doing this for 6 years.
and that's fine. That is a short span when we in the scope of politics. That's a very short time. But going back to your work, I just don't see that it's backed by data. It's speculation. You're saying
No.
that you're infiltrated in these circles, and all I see is videos of public spaces. Look, I went to we used to go to the DSA meetings over here, and what we did is we documented, we mapped it out, we put everybody, all the players in
All
there,
right.
and when we
All right.
released the data, we released it, and we went to Obama speeches, we went to all of these, infiltrated, disrupted, and destroyed.
I don't
some
disrupt.
of these.
I record.
But that's the problem. I don't see the data where you're
Have you looked
bringing
up
all
Tom
this
Alter
in.
yet? Have you
Can you
looked
tell
up
the
Tom Alter
public?
yet?
Can you tell these people who Tom Alter is?
Tom Alter is a socialist professor that got fired from Texas State University about a couple months ago. And the reason he got fired from Texas State University is because I went undercover at the Revolutionary Socialism Conference where he was speaking, and I recorded. It was it was a private conference that none of you guys knew about and none of you guys bothered to look into. So I got into their private conference. I had to use a fake name because if I had signed up as myself, I would have been kicked out of it. I had other people recording this conference too, and we got him on video with a group of other far left communists talking about wanting to overthrow the government. I recorded that. I put that video on the internet. It went viral.
You put a
without the help of
video.
any- Well, can I finish my story? Can
Go
I?
ahead.
Because I would let you talk for a while, and you were saying a lot of things that don't actually line up with reality. When I put that video on the internet, it went massively viral. It was covered all over the media, including in the New York Post, where there was a picture of me in the fucking article exposing his ass. This Texas State University system fired him. They then about thousands of socialists got together to form a committee to get him rehired back at his fucking job. A court temporarily reinstated him, and now there is another effort to and then he got fired again by the same college president, and now there is another massive effort to try to get him rehired at his job, where they have mobilized literally thousands of communists. I am fighting with thousands of communists right now to get this one Texas State University professor fired from his job for being a communist. All this stuff is documented on the internet. They're doing entire presentations about me. They're running their mouths online about me far worse than you guys are at the actual moment, because what they're saying is more hinged into reality than what you just said. So not only is my work not speculative, my work gets communists fired. If you want to go back further than that, let's talk about when I went undercover at the Socialism Conference in 2023. You're going to say that's a public space, but the reality is I was preemptively banned from going to that conference, and I have the email from the conference saying you can't come to our conference. So I had to dress up in a fucking disguise. I dressed as a non-binary person for several days. I was on actual Antifa, where I recorded them doing a number of things, including recording the president of the American Library Association saying libraries should be sites of Marxist organizing. Another thing that went viral all over the internet and caused a lot of state library associations to leave the American Library Association. And I have a long track record of doing stuff exactly like this. My stuff gets results. My stuff gets people fired. My stuff gets people out of leftist organizations. My stuff exposes what the left is doing that you guys have no F-off idea about. And I actually do appreciate the stuff that you do as well. But what I do is very different. And so to say that I have no data because you took a swing around my website for 5 minutes, like that's just unhinged from reality. And it looks really, really dumb, honestly.
So look, I applaud you for getting this guy fired, but I'm not saying
you're gonna fight against the Texas State University system with us to prevent him from getting rehired, because that's actually more productive than bitching about chokeholds.
There was a person that was a lot more destructive than this Texas State University that said something on the stage and deserves to get fired. By no means, I think I'd go beyond than this guy should be arrested. But there was a person a lot more destructive. His name was Christian Exu, and he was getting people fired. He was doxing people on Twitter, and he went by the handle Anti-Fash Gordon. If you were around on Twitter, I don't know if you were around on Twitter in 2020. This started all the way back in 2016.
Oh, so long ass time ago.
And we fired him. We sued him, the university. The litigation's still going on. And we've done that numerous times. And then just recently with this whole the left fucking celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, we're in the 200 range of people that we got fired, and that includes professors. And for some reason, they always have the same. They're always in the same fields of work. They're either a professor, or they're in the healthcare industry, or they're in education, right?
Yeah.
In lesser education. So look, I'm not saying that what you did wasn't a good thing. I think it's just
you're just saying I don't have data and I don't do anything. No, okay. Well, I would.
I don't believe so.
Hey, Enrique, I have a question for you. What is the most common name of Antifa organizations?
What do you mean the most common name for
What is the
Antifa
most common
organization?
name of Antifa organizations?
I don't
See, and
get
that's
what you're
exactly the
saying.
problem. That's exactly the
Okay.
problem. Antifa is a decentralized group of thousands of cells all over the country, and you have an extensive amount of experience with Antifa. So, what is the
Yes.
most common name of their cells or organizations?
I don't
You
get
don't
the
know.
gist of the question, but go ahead.
Because you
Go
don't
ahead
know.
and
And this
explain
is
it.
the problem, and this is the problem with the Trump executive order as well, because none of you guys actually know how to identify Antifa, and none of you guys know how to define Antifa in a way that it actually gets to the heart of their organizations. The most common name of Antifa organizations are info shops, distros, or collectives. Any of those would have been an acceptable answer. The fact is you don't know that, the Trump administration doesn't know that, and that's why that executive order isn't actually going to do anything, because you guys cannot currently identify who's an Antifa.
It's
Do you know who
it's
currently can identify who's an Antifa? Me, because
you
of the
can.
massive amount of data that I have on these organizations, because I know
Have
the
you
names.
published this data
I've published some of it. I'm working on publishing more of it because
with
this stuff all
names?
takes time. Yes. We're making a
Okay.
giant fuck off database with names, with
How
organizations,
long have you
with
been
all
working on this?
I've been working on this steadily for a couple of months with a group of volunteers. We're trying to get it ready so it can
Uh,
actually be consumed by the
and when
public.
do you
It's a
think that this
massive
is
amount
going
of
to
information.
release? When is this
Well, we're
going to
gonna
release?
start releasing it piecemeal, I think, pretty soon. But like, this is a years long. Do you know how far deep some of these organizations go? It is a ridiculous amount. We are trying to right now wrangle a massive amount of data to actually make it usable for the public. That's why it's not out yet.
I feel, and again, you might find this offensive, but I feel like this is another iteration of the "trust me, bro."
And I feel like you don't even know the most common names of Antifa organizations, so I'm going to
Well,
take anything you have to say about it with a grain of salt. Like,
look, if there's anybody
can you
that's
name
been,
me one
and
radical
if there's anybody
revolutionary
that's,
communist bookstore?
I'm sorry, Rob, what'd you say? Okay, so when we're talking about these organizations, and look, I don't want to shit on actual work, but when talking about this organization, this decentralized organization that in
Yeah.
the Middle East, it's the same thing. These terrorist cells work exactly the same
Okay,
way.
but I'm not talking about
There's
the Middle East. I'm talking about Antifa in the United States
nobody
right now.
knows, and nobody's done more action to get these little fucks arrested, deplatformed, and fired than my organization.
Well,
And
congratulations
we've
to you, and
done
I'll celebrate
an
every single time you
amazing
guys get
job.
fired. But Enrique, do you know the names of the events that I've gone undercover at? You guys have done all
Um,
this research on me. What are the names of
again,
the events that I went undercover at?
again, I'm not going to say I'm a professional at your line of work. Well,
Do you
not
know that
line of
Turning
work.
Point
You.
USA and Frontlines came and followed me around on one of my latest undercover things, and they actually went with me to these events? So apparently Turning Point USA and Frontlines takes my work very seriously, because Jonathan Cho was following me around to different anarchist book fairs that I was undercover at. He was undercover as well. He would say he was undercover as well. He released a video on it of our undercover adventures collecting their propaganda and infiltrating their events. And this was just a couple weeks ago. So again, I got to say, you guys are not doing well with your research. Turning Point USA is publishing my stuff and saying
Okay.
she's going undercover at events. You guys are saying, no, she's not. Pinky swear, trust me, bro. You don't even know the names of the events that I went to.
Okay. So let's we're moving on to an hour and 12 minutes. I kind of want to
Yeah.
close it up an hour and 30. So I
Cool.
want to come up to another thing that's controversial. You said a couple things about, let me pull it up on screen. And we'll full screen it. And I'll read it.
Oh, you went on Kiwi Farms. Oh, look at that. Hey, do you know what post this is related to? What is the name of the post that this is related to? Do you guys have the
I
direct
just
link?
want to read your words.
No, you
And
don't.
then
No,
you
no,
can
no,
explain
no, no,
it.
no. Do you know the post this is related to? Do you know the post? I'm not going to stop shutting up until you answer this question. Do you
Go
know
ahead.
where this came from? Do you know where this came from?
This looks like a Substack.
Yeah. What was the title of the article of the Substack?
Can I just read? Let's
You don't
read the
have
words.
it because you don't even know where this is coming from. You don't know the context of this. So again,
Fine.
this is
I
another
don't
instance
know
of
the
you trying
context,
to
but
pull
so let
this
me
out
read
of
your words and you
context.
could give me context.
No, I'll give you context right now. This was on an article about choosing our experience and how everything bad and traumatizing can actually be turned into something good. It's an article about how no one escapes life without fucking trauma. And if we allow our trauma to destroy us, then that is exactly what the people who inflicted the trauma on us want. This is an article saying if you were harassed or abused or anything when you were younger, that is not your fault, but you should not allow that to destroy you. And you can turn around and channel that into something good that can help other people. This is an article about spirituality. This is a philosophical article. This is a belief system. You guys have been using this screenshot against me for years,
and I'll share it
completely out of
I'll
context,
share
and
your
you
entire
don't
article.
even know where it came from. And this is the fucking point, Enrique. You guys are not doing basic research on what you're talking about. You're cherry picking shit out of context and pretending because you're smearing me on the internet right now because I hurt your friend's big boy feelings. Well, I'm sorry. I don't care if I hurt your friend's feelings.
I will
This is taken
share
out of
your
context.
article. I will
I
share
don't
your
care. This is
article
an old
here.
article. You should have already found it before you even
Okay.
brought this up.
But
If you're taking evidence to try to put someone on the spot, you should damn well fucking
So you
know where that
shouldn't
evidence came
have a
from.
problem me
You got this
reading
off of Kiwi
your
Farms
you shouldn't
with
have a
the
problem me
article with the
reading
full
these.
context. Full context, motherfucker. Full context, motherfucker. You guys don't even know where this fucking came from. And
I
you
want
wonder
to
why I don't care if
understand-
you're in my audience. You wonder why I don't care if I appeal to people like you.
Okay.
You are lying by taking shit out of context and leaving it up
I
on
mean,
the
the
screen,
context
and
of
you
this
don't
of
even
this
know
question
what
is
this
pretty
fucking
clear.
is. Just like you don't know where I went undercover at, just like you don't actually know the things that I'm doing, just like you did no research before you brought me on, because this is just a hit job and I knew what I was
Karlyn.
walking into, and I don't mind telling you to
Karlyn.
go fuck yourself because
That's
no
fine.
one
You
cares
can tell
about
me
the
to go
Proud
fuck
Boys now,
myself, but
motherfucker.
Karlyn, right here it says the question is,
What
I
is the
want
name
to
of the article that
understand
this came from? What is
your
the name of the
point.
article?
I'll
that this
share
came
the
from? What is
article.
the name
Just
of the
send it to
Then
me.
go
Just let
find
me
it. No,
finish.
you should have found it before you brought this up on the screen.
Karlyn,
You
Karlyn,
should
I
have
don't
done your own
mute my
research,
guests,
Enrique.
but let
This
me.
is not.
Can
You're
I
not going to mute
finish
me.
this
Well, you
right
can
here?
mute me if you want to. If you can't handle a woman, I thought you guys were
No,
being feminist.
you're
You
trying to
can't
talk over
handle
me
a
while I'm trying
woman.
to read this.
Right, because I'm telling you.
Okay, give me 1 second so I can read this. I don't like muting my guests, but here we go. I want to understand your point. Isn't something like child rape bad, though?
Oh no! Oh
What
no! You
if-
guys are not interested in the full context at all. Muting your guests because you can't handle a woman.
What if you need to experience, and she's talking about child rape, that as a child in
Hey,
order
what
to
a
have
sad
the
day for the
required
Proud
life
Boys, muting your guests because
experience?
you can't handle a woman because she called you out for taking stuff out of context. You don't know where this came from. You don't know where this
I
came
don't
from.
care
You
what
are-
this
you
came
are-
from. You're
No, you don't
advocating for
care.
fucking
Exactly,
child rape.
Exactly. No, I'm not
You're
advocating
literally,
for child rape,
that's
you
exactly
low
what you're
IQ
doing
fucking
here.
retard. That's not what it is. And if you had the full context, you would know that's not what it is. But you are a low IQ retard who is beneath me. And this is
Okay.
why I do not care if you are in my audience. This
Okay,
is why.
hold on. Here, this is the best way to do this. So I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna let her respond to it, but let me go ahead and read what we see here. I want to understand your point. Isn't something like child rape bad, though? Where Karlyn responds, what if you need to experience that as a child in order to have the required life experience to go on and help future rape victims? Lena responds, that's easy to say if you're not the child whose life is destroyed. Karlyn goes ahead and says, you assume the life is destroyed. There are plenty of people whom this has happened to, whose lives are not destroyed. You're not trying to understand this, even though you claim you are. If you don't understand, read this again and think. And then read it again and think some more. Repeat this until you understand. But you don't. Bring your baggage here just to be outraged or victimized. I'm not playing this game. So let me bring you back on the screen, Karlyn. Let me bring this down and go ahead. And you
Enrique,
are
how small
unmuted.
is your penis? Because it must be so tiny if you have to take.
I don't
things
know.
out
It's
of
on.
context
It's all over
you
the
don't
internet. I
even
mean, people
understand.
have seen it, I guess.
I
So
feel
can you
sorry
explain
for your
this?
life, man.
Listen, I'm not. It's not a gotcha
I don't have
moment.
to explain it. Go
Explain
find
it.
the fucking article that it's actually attached
Can
to.
you
I don't
explain to the audience what this article is? We're in video format. I
It's
can't.
a philosophical
About.
well, apparently you can find screenshots, but you can't take full context, and this is why I don't actually care about appealing to you guys, because in my work we look at the full context. We don't cherry pick shit that's important. If you had actually read the article that this was attached to and done the most basic research, which you're not inclined to do because you guys are not smart enough to do this stuff, you would have found out that that is a philosophical conversation about dealing with trauma earlier in life and channeling that trauma into something positive. Do I support child rape? No, you stupid motherfucker. No, you stupid motherfucker. What I'm saying is that when a tragedy happens to a child, that tragedy can be channeled for good later in life. And wouldn't that actually be a positive thing? And wouldn't that be a positive life path for some people? Oh my God. What year was this? When was this?
I don't know. When was it?
This is back in 2022. Hey, have you guys ever sued the school systems for grooming? Has anyone ever sued the school systems for grooming in schools?
No,
Why
what we
haven't you guys
do.
sued the school system?
So one
Why?
thing that we've done is
Why
we've
haven't you
taken
sued the school
over.
system?
Here locally, actually, we've taken over the entire school
The
board.
Kiwi Farm smear campaign continues, and we were never going to talk about my work, were we? Because you're doing the Kiwi Farm smear campaign, because that's all you stupid motherfuckers have. That's it.
So
you think I want to appeal to you and your low IQ audience?
Can you explain the
No.
context of this?
You have no one has ever sued the schools for grooming kids because it is protected speech in schools. And if you don't think it's protected speech, if you think I'm wrong, then why aren't you stupid motherfuckers suing the schools? You're not suing the schools because you can't. Because you can't.
Somebody got
can't even run your own show.
Reno. Oh fuck! You kicked off my. Reno, give me a Reno.
No.
Reno, can you sign on through the guest, because you kicked off my computer.
Can't do your own research, can't run your own shows. It's a beautiful day.
I
do all this stuff on
self-produced.
my own. You guys, well, yeah, somewhat.
I self-produce.
I'll
I don't
be self-producing my
be.
show at 5 p.m. and I'll actually be not, getting kicked off my own screen and spreading smear campaigns about ridiculous nonsense.
Can you give me the context of that?
I already did, Enrique. I already did. You just weren't listening, so I already did. If you guys think that I'm incorrect, then start suing the schools for grooming kids. I provided more than enough evidence of this stuff happening in schools through my independent journalism that you don't even bother to look at. So if you guys think that grooming in schools is not protected speech, sue the fucking schools.
I think that they should be put in a fucking wood chipper, but I wouldn't argue that it was protected speech.
If it's not protected speech, then sue the schools. Why isn't anyone suing the schools? Suing the schools could actually be
the schools, but I'll never side with it by saying it's protected speech.
And it could have massive
speech.
nationwide implications in terms of getting it out of all schools. If we just sue one school and we win that lawsuit,
so do you think that these people should be protected?
But we won't sue the schools because it is just so fucking hard. Sue the fucking schools. If you have kids in schools, sue the schools. If you think I'm wrong, sue the schools.
You think child grooming is protected speech?
I have actually broken.
You think it should be
Enrique,
protected speech?
You are so fucking stupid. Do you
I'm asking you a question. Do you think it should be protected speech? Because it seems like you're advocating for it.
Well, that only a low IQ retard would think that, Enrique. Because
I've had multiple screenshots and your background. Your background
what are you
also
leaving out?
shows you here. You protected a child
are you showing
pedophile. You protected a child pedophile.
No, I didn't.
Which was your husband.
No, wrong again.
Was
what's the name of my husband?
Was it not?
No, it wasn't actually.
Did you
what's
not?
the name of my husband?
What did your husband get arrested for?
My husband has never been arrested.
Your husband has never been arrested?
No,
or your boyfriend's never been arrested?
My college boyfriend that I dated in college.
All right, Sarah, college boyfriend. Your college boyfriend.
My husband, and now here you are starting a smear campaign about my husband because you didn't bother to do basic research. My husband's name, Enrique,
so I'll share this
Victor
tab instead.
Borysenko.
You're gonna go ahead and make me bring it back up over here.
Hey Enrique, have you ever read the article about
what article is this?
Are you arguing that Timothy Richards is my husband? Because Timothy Richards wasn't even my boyfriend. Timothy Richards is a gay man. I never dated Timothy Richards. Timothy Richards is a gay man con artist that caused a whole fuck ton of problems for someone that I love. You don't even know the names of the people you're talking about. Timothy Richards is
Did you guys run servers?
No, I didn't do anything. I wasn't involved in any
You
of this.
didn't.
But
You weren't involved in it.
Timothy Richards
Was your
was
boyfriend
doing it.
was your boyfriend
My
involved?
boyfriend processed credit cards.
What did your boyfriend get plead guilty to?
I don't even remember because it was so long
You
ago.
don't
but
remember?
You want to know what actually? It was 20 somewhat fucking
Child
years
porn
ago.
charges.
No, well, I
How
don't
do you
know
not
the
remember?
exact charges.
You don't know
Do
the
you
exact
care about
charges
what
of
he
your
did?
boyfriend that
Enrique,
got
do you care about
arrested?
what he actually? Do you care about what he actually
Didn't
did?
you
Do you care about
defend?
what he
Didn't
actually
you
did?
defend
Do you
this
actually even know
person
what
all
happened?
the way through
You just pulled up an
2016?
article that wasn't even about the person we're talking about. Do you know
Mhm.
what happened? Do you know that a New York Times reporter bribed a
Mhm.
17-year-old kid to say he was 18 to go on this website and used a fake ID to go on this website? My boyfriend processed the credit cards for that website.
So why
It
did he
wasn't
plead
even
guilty?
involved. Because he was railroaded by the federal government, which I think you have some experience with. The
Oh.
federal government went trumped up all these fucking charges against him because Kirk Eichenwald wrote a story for the New York Times, and then Kirk Eichenwald went to testify with that kid in front of Congress, and they lied and lied and lied and said all this
But here's the
bullshit.
thing.
You
Look, if
have
it was an
experience with
isolated
the government
incident,
putting
if it
you
was
in
an
jail for
isolated
something you didn't
incident,
do.
nobody would
It
ever
was an
argue with you, but
isolated
it's not
incident.
isolated.
It
It
is.
just
What do
keeps
you
coming
mean?
up.
You
It keeps coming
do
up.
I
You
have
keep
other
defending
boyfriends that I
pedophiles.
didn't know?
You
Oh, I
keep saying
keep
that
defending
child
pedophiles.
grooming.
I
You
will
keep saying
absolutely
that child
defend someone who
grooming
processed
is
credit cards
protected
for a
speech.
website.
And you keep
It
defending
keeps
Antifa,
coming
and you
up
keep
because we keep
saying
hearing you
that
on the
you should
internet.
call the
It keeps
cops
coming up because we
on
don't do our
fucking
research because
patriots.
we're low
You
IQ
keep
fucking retards.
saying that
It
you
keeps
should
coming up because we keep
continue
making up lies about
to
you, and then you
to
wonder
send
why I get so
articles
fucking
to
angry about you needle dick
left-wing outlets.
motherfuckers
I
who
mean,
don't care
look,
what the truth actually
you've
is.
sat here and you've defended your positions poorly, may I add. I've tried to be very nice to you, and I've tried to give you time.
I am
And
not gonna be
every
nice.
time I
You're
come
lying.
up with something
I
important,
am very
right?
nicely
You
smearing
try
you
to
on the
just
internet.
talk over
I
me.
am being
And
so
I'm allowing
nice and
it. I'm
smearing you on
allowing
the
it to
internet, but
happen
I'm being
because
very, very, very nice. But I'm lying about you, and I'm lying about people you love, and I was
Oh no,
spreading
you
the same
can't
old
lie
smear
about me.
campaign,
That's the whole
and I'm not
thing.
showing any
You
evidence
know,
that
somebody
contradicts
like
it when that evidence
Alex
exists. I
Rosen
don't even know the
has
names of the
data.
people involved. I'm gonna
You
lie
have
about
no
your
data.
husband and
There's
say I have
nothing. You're
no
a
data.
grifter.
Only a low IQ retard thinks I don't have data, Enrique. Honestly, only a low IQ retard thinks I don't have data.
I think that
You know,
you
I
are a
talk to people
person that
about
focuses
from
on
your past.
subscribers.
Yes, I
Listen,
do.
I'm not going to say that you don't do
Correct,
work.
Enrique. I
I
make
don't
content on
think,
the
I
internet. I
think you
focus on
exaggerate
subscribers.
on that
Correct.
work. And I just think that there's a
Because you don't even
repetitive
know what it is.
theme that keeps going on here.
Yes, I'm the very best at what I do.
Every time you get
I
some
am
type
the
of pushback,
very
you
best at
change
what I do.
teams. And
I
it's
haven't
easy to
changed
say
teams
that
at
I will
all.
see you change teams again. I'm
What
100%
teams
sure
did I change?
that you will
I
change
left the
teams
Democratic Party
again.
and I became a libertarian, basically.
That's not what you said in your
That
opening
is
monologue.
actually what I said. That
No,
is
you said
explicitly what I
you
said.
said that you
low-IQ
joined the libertarian
fucking
team in
retard.
22.
And I said I was never a conservative, didn't I? Did
You
I say
said
I
that
was never a conservative? Did I say
you
repeatedly
said
I was never a
clearly you
conservative?
jumped on the conservative team
No, the
right
conservatives
after
jumped
that.
on me.
So
I
Brandon
know.
Straka,
I gave a speech
gave
at
you
one
a
of Brandon
platform, and
Straka's
so did
events where I
PragerU.
said I wasn't conservative. I gave a speech at Brandon Straka's event saying I wasn't a conservative. Do you want to play that video, or are we ignoring that evidence? Because it's
So
not
you just
convenient
keep
for our
jumping
story.
shit. Why aren't you at Walk Away anymore?
Because Brandon Straka is not even doing anything that matters, and I will
okay.
not associate with him or
Not
that
doing anything
organization
that
at all.
matters.
Because
Okay.
I have no desire to support the Republican Party, Enrique. I'm not a fucking moron. Like, I don't want any part of any of these political parties. Why on earth would I work with Brandon Straka? What's Brandon Straka doing today?
Well, he's
My
not
work
part
is
of a
more-
party.
He
part of an
supports the
organization, Walk
Brandon
Away.
Straka is almost entirely
then
funded by the Republican Party. Don't
You go Brandon
bullshit
Straka,
here.
Andy No. You've attacked everybody here.
Why did I attack Andy No?
everybody
I
that's
disagree with Andy
been
No. Do you even
successful.
remember? I
So
told
you
specifically,
you
everyone that's
continuously
been
have this
successful.
pattern.
I have
and-
100,000 followers on Twitter and 130,000 followers some odd on YouTube, and my work has never been more successful than it is right now. So I'm feeling pretty good about my work. While you guys
Okay.
are making up, you guys have nothing to do but lie about me. That's all
Okay.
you can do. All you can do
So
is lie
I got
and
3
start
minutes.
campaigns because
Stand
you
by. Give me 1
cannot
second. 3 minutes
intellectually
left on
argue
the
any
stream.
single thing that I
Karlyn,
say.
I got 3 minutes left on the stream. I'm
I
going to give
don't
you 2
actually
minutes to
care.
close.
Uh-huh.
I'll give you 2 minutes to close. I got to
Uh-huh.
be somewhere. I got work to do. So go ahead. I'm going to give you 2 full minutes to go ahead and say what you want to say.
Yeah, if anyone's actually interested in the content of my work, you can find it over on my Substack. That is Karlyn, KARLYN.substack.com. Enrique doesn't want to tell you that, but if you click on the new to my work section, you will see several videos enumerating the highlights of my work where you can go through the actual evidence and the actual resources yourself. All of this is freely available to Enrique. He didn't avail himself of it because he's not smart enough to understand it. If you want more of my work, I stream Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Kick. And my work speaks for itself. I'm one of the most successful independent journalists covering the far left over the last several years. There is no one doing the work I do. And if you're interested in the truth over smear campaigns, you can do that. The thing about Enrique and his friends is they cannot intellectually argue my work. They cannot intellectually argue my receipts. You'll notice in the entire course of this presentation where Enrique said he wanted to talk about my work, but never actually did, he presented nothing about what I've actually been doing. He presented things from a Kiwi Farms thread that has been around for years, which is all taken out of context and all has been repeatedly debunked. He doesn't care about that because he doesn't care about the truth. But I do think there are very smart people out there who do care about the truth. And if you're one of those people, you can come over to one of my properties and you can participate in the community. You can get involved and you can help us actually expose the radical revolutionary far left and map the far left in America. And maybe you just want to hang out and see the information, and that's cool too, bro. And if you don't want to subscribe, then don't subscribe. And if you don't want to support my work, then don't support my work. But I'm very appreciative of the thousands and thousands of people who do support my work. I'm one of the only completely independently funded journalists in the country because the quality of my work is so high. I have no political masters. I have no political narrative. My only job is to show up and to show you guys what's going on and to tell the truth. Enrique doesn't understand that, and his friends don't understand that because they're not smart enough to follow along. But I have to think there are probably one or two smart people. And if you want to follow along, come over to the YouTube channel today. We're going to be talking about some cool stuff. We'll do Socialism Saturdays tomorrow at 6 p.m., where we cover the real radical revolutionary far left in America. And I will show you stuff that Enrique and his friends have no effing clue is going on. So if you want to be at the tip of the spear covering the far left, come to my stuff. If you want to swim in bullshit, he's a great option. And I'm going to leave now and let you guys wrap up and continue to lie and do whatever you want to do. Thanks for having me on, Enrique.
Thank you for
very clarifying about your level of IQ and the size of your penis. And good luck to you.
Thank you. All right. So I'm going to give you my final take. Rob, do you want to join in, or Reno? So I'm joined by Reno. Rob, you could turn on your camera, by the way. Or I don't know if you're able to. Okay, so let me full screen myself. Give me a second. I'm going to give you guys my final take on this.
Oh, I got something to read.
It seems okay. Yeah, give me a second. This whole thing just seems like a ruse, and I don't want to take away from her firing that one professor, but I've been through her website. I've gone through it, and multiple people have helped me go through her website, and I just don't find any data. I see a lot of bluster. I see a lot of this is what I do. I've infiltrated these networks. I've infiltrated these. The event that she's talking about was a public event. Okay. And she was recorded, and this professor was fired, not just for her stream, but for all a bunch of people that were streaming at the same time. Now, given that if you were to go through it, and every time, and she said it right there, she's asking you to subscribe. She's asking you to give money. This person, she does not have a regular job. She does not have a regular 9 to 5. And look, a lot of people like us, we do this out of passion, and she probably does have that passion. I am not saying that she doesn't, but what we're seeing consistently, there's two things that I see consistently, and this interview solidified that, is she starts this project, and she's super passionate about it. The moment she gets a little bit of pushback, suddenly everybody else is the problem. It's not her. It's a personality trait that she has that makes her ineffective in her work. If she would not, and this was what started this whole conversation, is I was trying to give her advice to stop with the noise, refuse to listen to the noise. If you don't understand, agree with JD and Rebel, correct me there,
Right
Reno.
Side
Rebel, and you don't agree with those people, just fucking ignore them and do your work. Stop caring about what other people think about your work. If you go through her tweets, and I did that for a very long time. If you go through her tweets, every single fucking tweet is a beef with somebody. If you want to be effective at this and you want to influence people, I hate using the word influencer. If you want to influence people, you need to stay away from these stupid little spats. She agreed with me. It's a stupid little spat, whether it's a chokehold or not. She's the one that made it a big deal. And I don't think JD would have ever said anything if she didn't even comment that wasn't a chokehold. That was clearly a chokehold. He put pressure on her neck. You could see her squirming to get out of it. We saw her with liberals. We saw her with conservatives. We saw her with libertarians. She was part of the walkaway movement. You know who was wrong there? Brandon Straga. We saw her be a supporter of Andy No. Andy No suddenly, bad person. Everybody she deals with is a bad person. There's hardly anybody. I know my friend CK might disagree with me here on some of the things, and it's I haven't gotten her take on it, but this person is toxic. This person has a personality disorder that won't be fixed, and she's going to continue, and she's going to shift her focus. And you're already seeing that with her tweets. You're already seeing her turn on people that have done excellent work on the ground. And those people probably within that group of people, they don't disagree. They don't they probably disagree at some level, but they're not sitting there publicly saying, oh, well, these people are shit and these people, and they're constantly, because they know it bogs down their work, the great work that these people have done in Portland. It is so important. Look, the Proud Boys did amazing work in Portland back in the years from 2017 all the way up until like 2022. These people have taken the baton, right? And have continued it. People like CK, people like JD, people like Right Side Rebel, people that have been on the ground, have exposed that. People like Nick, both Nicks, have done such an amazing job of that. And you know why they've done such an amazing job? They've stayed away from the fucking drama. And I love it, and I appreciate you guys. Again, I'm not going to discredit that one professor that she did, but on her website, there's no data to back up anything. You know, Andy No comes with receipts. Everybody that comes in there, like Tommy comes with receipts. This is the person. So she's probably going to go on at 5:00 and try to shit on all over this. The other thing, the other point the last point that I'd like to make here is the pedophilia.
Oh, I got shit on this.
You never argue for pedophiles, ever. As a person that's been to prison, as a person that's had to check some of these people in, you don't let them walk. You don't defend them. You simply just beat the shit out of them, and you kill. I literally just had on my holster, it said, kill your local fucking pedophile. So I want to get the Warboy Studios team's take on this, starting with you, Rob.
All right. So her ex, Aaron Campbell Brown.
Sorry.
Oh, you're looking at the same stuff I am.
Yeah. This is the ex. Washington. A Boston man has pleaded guilty to one count of conspiracy to sell, transport, reproduce, distribute, and receive child pornography, and one count of money laundering. Aaron Campbell Brown entered the plea today before U.S. District Court Judge Samuel.
That's the boyfriend, correct?
Yep. He pleaded guilty to 2 counts from superseding indictment returned on March 28, 2007. The remaining counts including allegations of conspiracy to produce and advertise child pornography, conspiracy to produce child pornography, and importation into the United States, transportation, receipt, distribution, and sale of child pornography, and other money laundering accounts. In his guilty plea, Brown admitted that the conspiracy spanned more than 5 years and involved a number of commercial child pornography sites. The websites included MexicoFriends.com, JustinsFriends.com, which were created, developed, hosted, and operated by co-conspirators Brown, Gregory John Mitchell, Timothy Ryan Richards, and a cooperating witness.
So look,
the websites contained child pornography and offered memberships to websites for a subscription fee. He knew what he was doing.
Okay, so here's the thing. Look, I don't want to chain her up. I don't want to chain her up to the actions of her boyfriend. I don't know enough about that to
yeah, but she knew.
I don't want to
chain
her.
What woman fucking dates a fucking pedophile, dude?
I'm with you on that, but where I'm
chaining her up to it.
The disgust comes in his defense, right? He pled guilty, and look, I understand how the system works. I get it. But if you're running a hosting site and you have no idea what these people are hosting, right?
That's bullshit.
Then it's an easy fucking case. I'm going to trial. I am not going to prison as a fucking pedophile, right? Because if I'm fucking innocent, I am not doing that. So I don't want to say that she knew something about it. I don't want to even like get into that territory. My problem doesn't come with what she knew. My problem comes in the defense of it. So that's where I have an issue. And then we're seeing it. If it was a one-time thing, you know what? Whatever. Somebody could get tied up and not know. We continuously see these messages from her that she continues to advocate for this shit. You know, and there's no spiritual. She's like, oh, it comes from like a spiritual place. This article that I made about spiritualism. Listen, in no fucking way can you say, well, it's protected speech. No, fuck you, it's protected speech. Protected from who? It's not protected from me. Right? So your take, Kim, what's your take on it?
Well, I mean, she's a clear-cut compulsive liar, and every time she's ever come on my radar, and I was kind of surprised because she had me blocked for a while, so she knew who I was because she unblocked me at some point. But the other day during the live stream, when we were trying to get her to come on this debate and have her talk to us, she knew for hours and hours and hours there was going to be a live stream. She was welcome to the live stream, and she had a way to come on. She starts a live stream, an unscheduled one. She had one earlier and one later, which will come back later. I'll bring that up. But she had two other live streams. This was a completely off-schedule, random live stream. She went live during the time that we were all live, that you guys were live. And she said, okay, Enrique and one other person, I forget who else, but she said, come on this and debate me. No, you know they're busy, you know they're not going to see it, and it's during a live that you were actively invited to. So I called her out blatantly. I was like, this is your plan. You're just trying to do this so that you can cry later and say, well, they didn't show up, so clearly they didn't want to debate. And it was like so blatantly obvious. She called me stupid a bunch of times, which is obviously a deflection tactic that she really loves. She really loves leaning on, oh, you're a retard. Oh, you're stupid. Anyway, so literally even after I called her out on this multiple times, and she's claimed, oh, that's not even close to the truth, she posts a comment literally right after she goes live. Oh, well, nobody showed up. I guess nobody wanted to debate. It was like, you dumb cunt. Like, I literally said this is what was going to happen, and you cried about it and blocked me, which, thank you, Elon Musk, doesn't mean shit anymore, because I can still see all your shit. It's like... That one instance speaks to her, the character that I see every time she's ever popped up in my peripheral, which is not that often. And the idea that she's some sort of like prolific voice behind the expose of Antifa, nobody knows who the fuck she is in those circles, other than being a loudmouth fat cunt.
Bro, and the other thing about this dude.
Let me get Reno's take, and then I'll go back to you, Rob.
Well, I've tried to interact with her. She blocked me on my third message, so I didn't get to interact with her that much. But I'm glad to.
Wait, hold on 1 second, Serena. If you're watching, I sent a link to your DMs. You could join just audio if you want. But go ahead. Go ahead.
So I'm glad I got out of a Rancor pit. But she's gonna need a new Rancor. But the deep dive's coming, and I'm going to expose her for what she is.
Oh, if you need help, I have a lot of people who have plenty of screenshots and stuff. She is a fucking lying bitch.
Look, I stayed away. I stayed away from the obvious easy gets, which is just
no. That was really good. That was really smart of you. But I owe her no kindness.
Her appearance. going for her appearance. Obviously, I made the Jabba the Hutt video or whatever. It's Twitter. Welcome to the world. If that hurt you, fuck, you don't belong on
Go
Twitter.
to the gym.
But for the most part, another thing, and here I do have to. Here is something. So I get angles and filters, right? I was single at one point, and I was using fucking Tinder, and I'm swiping these beautiful women. And when they get there, it's kind of like the difference that, did you see the Stormy Daniels difference?
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
right? It's like I swiped on that Stormy Daniels, and this is what I got. Right?
You got Timu Stormy Daniels.
I got Timu's Story McDaniels. So, like, listen, look, I fat shaming works, but in this case, don't fucking put up a picture that makes you look like you're super duper fucking skinny, right? If you're fat, just fucking own it. Right, just own it. I can't trust the fucking guy. If I can't trust you on your fucking profile picture, how the fuck am I gonna trust you when it comes to your fucking research? Everything on her page says subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. The first thing she fucking said to me after I gave her advice, right, was, "Well, you don't even support my work." What does support mean? And we're joined by wait, I just saw her come up on
You
screen.
didn't give her your money. Yeah,
I think Serena's in here.
Yeah.
Serena, you in here? Can you hear us? Actually, hold on. Let me take. I'm sorry. I have green audio off. Serena, you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, happy to have you on the show. This is the first time we talk. Since some of this had to do with you, do you want to go ahead and talk about? I don't know if you joined on the portion that we were talking about the chokehold, which if you look at the poll that Conservative Pen put under there is pretty stark. But go ahead, Serena. Go ahead and address that.
So I got a text from you. You probably know who I got a text from earlier.
Okay.
But
Yes.
I got that text, and honestly, I blocked Karlyn right off the bat. I didn't want to deal with the drama. I'm not about the drama. I'm going up to Portland. I'm doing what I do. I want to shed light on what's happening up there. So obviously, I'm not going to sit here and get into the drama, but the chokehold, for one, in the video, you could start to see me tap out. I thought it was one of our patriots pulling me back until I started to lose consciousness. I started
I
to get
noticed that in the
dizzy.
video. I did see that in the video that you were struggling.
So how are you going to say it's not a chokehold when I'm literally starting to go out?
Well, this is another example of her lying, because when it was clearly evident in the evidence in front of us that this was a chokehold, she went from it was never a chokehold to, well, I just said that this was nonsense and that we shouldn't even be talking about it. Like, you transparent stupid cunt.
Well, when
She is a stupid cunt. She's a dumb fat cunt, and she's honestly, it's jealousy. I don't know
And the
what I
reason
did
she
to
couldn't
trigger
stop
her, but
interrupting
she's
is
so
because she
triggered by
doesn't know how
me.
to close her fat fucking mouth.
When somebody's trying to choke you unconscious, that's something that you don't need to shut up about.
Yeah. So look, I again, I don't know if you listened to that portion where we were talking about you, and she made a point. She's like, "Well, if it's somebody's girlfriend," and I said, "Look, if it was my girlfriend, I don't care what gender it is, I'm knocking the bitch out, right?" But that's not the argument that she's making,
No,
right?
not even
The
close.
argument that she's making, and that's what put me into this mess, is she said that it wasn't a fucking chokehold. I saw it. I saw the video. I saw the pictures. I saw how he fucking, after he grabbed you, he squeezed. It wasn't, he didn't
You
squeeze
literally
instantly.
see it in his knuckles.
That
you
was
see it in his
anger.
knuckles in JD's video.
And that's where I chime in. I try to be as neutral as possible.
Man, had I been there, I definitely would have been in jail.
Yeah, that'd been a bad thing.
If I would have seen that dude put his hands around your fucking throat,
Rob, you were saying something before. Go ahead. I don't know if I cut you off earlier.
Well, this dude, I'm going back to this dude that she dated. He also installed cameras in showers of 14-year-old boys and to stream it live on these channels. And she knew about it.
And she's still defending him. That's
Yep.
fucking hilarious. You know, there's a special spot in hell for child pedos, and she belongs right next to him.
But listen, guys, you guys are taking all that out of context.
So here, look.
Oh my god.
She blocked Penn, I guess. Penn just texted me and said she blocked
dude.
Penn.
Well, I'm making a video about this as well. I'm gonna post it in the next couple days. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on to say that, like, literally nobody. If you guys haven't yet, just block her. Like, Miss, I have subscribers. Just starve her out. She can use the fucking weight loss and make sure you let her know. I'm gonna dip out though. I gotta do mommy things. But you guys keep being awesome.
Kim, hit me up because you got a bigger following than I do. I got a whole like 200 something people because that's what I like. But I'll get with
Man,
you.
I'm happy to do whatever.
Absolutely.
Whatever
Hey,
you guys.
Serena, it's Patriot Rob. I got a question for you. Because I don't know who this fucking Chandler faggot is. Why does such a skinny beta have so much fucking power? And I was watching a video where a dude was like, well, he was in this dude's fucking face, and this kid's such a fucking skinny little twig fucking douche, and he kept like deferring to the girlfriend, and he let this faggot get in his fucking face. Who is this fucking Chandler faggot? And
He's got a toilet, bro.
Yeah, but I don't understand. Like me, I would have fucking like that dude steps to me like I'm a fucking nasty motherfucker. I really am. I'm psychotic too on top of it, and I would have wrecked that motherfucker. I would have beat him. I would have beat his bag in the fucking ground, and I don't understand what his deal is.
Well, you have to understand, dude, that these guys have.
Are you Serena Reno?
Well, fuck you.
I want to hear her voice, not yours, dick.
Oh yeah,
of course you would.
Of course, go.
So from my understanding, what I've been hearing since being down at ICE is he's the supposed leader of Antifa. That's what I've been hearing. To them, they say that there's no leaders, but I mean, it's pretty clear
We know that's
who
bullshit.
runs the show.
Human nature dictates that there's always a leader. You could have a leaderless movement and there's a leader, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's part of just human nature. And I want to bring this up on the screen. And this is what bugs me about this whole thing, right? I don't know if I could zoom in, but let me go ahead and just at least read it out.
Can you landscape it?
No, because it's a screenshot, but let me go. So she wrote, and this was 11/3. This was November 3rd, not too long ago. Before I say anything, she has anti-communist on her, as on top of her handle. Her name says anti-communist on it. Now let's read this. When the communists win, I will be more than happy to give them a list of MAGA retards so they can round them all up and put them in prison camps. I will use my cooperation to gain favor under their regime, and I have no problem sacrificing MAGA retards to do it because it will be their fault the left wins. So look, I understand fucking internet shit talking, but like, you know, you're citing, this is why I keep saying that there's a fucking pattern here. I'm going to send this to the Portland Police Bureau. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then here she is. I'm going to work with the fucking communists. I get that she's I get she's shit posting here, but she's really not, because her history dictates that she fucking actually does this. Right. And look, I don't think I was very hard on her. I think I was very fair with her. But if Chandler were to come on the show, I don't think he would have a good time. Notice that every time I would bring an exhibit up, she decided that she didn't want me to talk. And you know what? I let her fucking blabber on. I let her blabber on until she got tired.
It's always these fucking premenopausal fucking 40-something-year-old fucking psycho fucking bitches that the second you fucking check them on their fucking bullshit, they start running their fucking holes. It really is. I mean, and they automatically defer to small dicks and you can't fucking handle a woman. No, you can't shut the fuck up for 5 seconds because you're a typical fucking cunt.
That is not a woman. That is not a woman.
I want to bring up
I
a
mean, she
comment.
might be a female, but that is not a woman.
I want to bring up a comment that I didn't get to because I already saw it devolving. But she did say that Soros does not fund Antifa. That's not true.
That's
Right?
bullshit.
And,
We all know that's bullshit.
in one capacity or another, these groups like MoveOn.org, right? And this just shows you the level of shit she doesn't know. Groups like MoveOn.org have been funded by Soros for years, and that's where they started to organize for a very long time, specifically in Portland, right? It's these MoveOn.org little stations that they have across the country, and they're very strategic about it, and they put them in these cities like Portland, like Miami. You know, they're probably in Manchester, fucking New Hampshire. You know, you have a lot of places.
No, they're in Portsmouth.
They're
in Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Okay. So they're not as big anymore as they used to be, but they are funded. These rallies are funded by it. You see it today, right? Where these same people from Portland are showing up all across the country on actual Soros-funded events. Are they getting flights? I don't know. But the events are being co-opted and they're being funded by Soros. So
Well, here's another thing. If
Go ahead.
you find some of those Antifa militants accounts, like I have, you click in a link in their bios and they have GoFundMe's for literally everything. Oh, I'm sick with this. Oh, I can't get my kids this. They don't have fucking kids. They're not sick. Like, there's just a bunch of scam GoFundMe's. And that's also another thing that they're getting money for is scamming
It's
people.
a way to avoid the criticism for the people that are collecting the funds, like GoFundMe. You have to say, "Oh, my kids are sick, blah blah blah. I'm gonna donate," instead of, "Hey, I need money to go protest," because GoFundMe will take it down.
And I'm blocked now.
Of course, you're blocked, dude.
And I'm blocked.
She blocks everyone.
I can't believe you lasted longer than I did.
No, she had blocked me and she unblocked me because she knew we were gonna have this show.
Anti-commie, I don't scream.
Okay.
When the fuck do I scream?
No, Chandler.
Every fucking podcast.
To your statement, Rob, the reason Chandler has people following him is because in those circles he speaks well. So he speaks a very well a game. But he's just regurgitates things that he reads in books from Noam Chomsky and stuff like that. So he just So if you listen to him, he basically goes verbatim with those anarcho-communist manifestos, and that's where he gets all his material from.
I wanted to point this out. There is video footage that JD's editor posted. Chandler on video admitted to choking me, saying that that's where he goes. I don't know if you guys saw that, but Chandler even admitted to choking me.
I did not see that.
I think I have it here. I think
JD's editor posted it. I think JD reposted it.
Reagan, nobody is fucking seething mad that we're blocked by her.
Yeah. I've been blocked by worse.
I've definitely been blocked by worse.
I've been blocked by worse and blocked by better.
I've been blocked by better, to be honest with you.
Reno, I'm gonna block you.
Do it. You won't.
No, I'm kidding.
So let me I'll put this up on screen, share this tab instead, and let's put this on screen. Let's play this for a second. And then we're gonna cut off here in like 10 minutes. I believe this is the thread.
Yeah.
Yes.
You had her by the throat.
I know. It's like a reflex.
Oh, holy crap.
Well, the better clip is the second clip.
Yeah.
Is
you
it
can
under
hear it
that
more clearly
tweet?
in the second one.
Yeah, it's all under the same one, I think, isn't it?
It's the same one. It's just there's a second clip in that video. There's a second clip in that video that you were on, and it has a more clear voice.
Okay, I see it. All right, give me 1 second to pull this up on the screen. Share this tab.
I remember when Tommy was the only one down here.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Now they all come to him.
Oh, fuck yeah, dog.
He thinks everybody in 2021 should have took the vaccines and been forced to take them.
Hands off.
I love the fact that somebody was singing "Happy Birthday."
I would have punched him right in his fucking mouth, right then and there.
You had to get grabbed on. They had to grab him by the neck to chill.
Yeah, so her saying that he let me go. He let me go when he got choked.
It's a party. Well, that got interesting quick. Hey, JD, I'm Brent.
Yeah. So, and you could see that you're shaking, right? Trying to get him off, but you couldn't. You couldn't.
Yeah, I thought it was.
No, go ahead, Serena. Go ahead.
I thought it was a patriot pulling me back until I started to lose consciousness. That's when I started getting a little worried. And then I heard Chandler's name be said, and that's when I got really worried because I'm like still starting to lose consciousness. And it wasn't until like how many guys did you see trying to get him to release me? He didn't let me go until someone had hit their hands around his neck. He wasn't letting me go.
God, I want to punch that
And
motherfucker in the face so bad.
you know,
I
a
really
trip to
do.
Portland could heal that.
I want to fuck him up
But
so
yeah,
bad.
in JD's
just for being a
editor's
twit.
video, he literally states that he did choke me. And so it's bullshit. Karlyn wants to say he let me go. He didn't let me go until someone had their hands around his neck.
Yep.
I was starting to lose consciousness. I was starting to get dizzy. I wasn't getting air. That is a choke.
Yeah, JD's right. I saw like 4 people grabbing him. Yeah, he's right.
Who was it that grabbed him by the neck?
I think
'Cause
that
he
was
fucking.
Nick
You could see.
Hey-
You could
Don't
see.
dox him.
You could
Don't
see
dox
his
him.
fear.
Well,
Oh.
you might know him. It's one of Haley's roommates.
Cool. Well.
So wait a minute. Somebody's
that guy's
saying
a hero.
that Chandler's quote unquote girlfriend's actually a dude.
I don't think so.
I'm
I don't
gonna
think so.
start that-
I mean,
I'm
I
starting
was
that rumor.
talking to her. She's like the same size as me, which I hope. Could I touch up on why I'm not pressing charges?
Yeah, because you're not a cop
Because-
calling fucking dickhead.
Well, that, and I'm also, you guys got to remember, I was in the military. We would fight and then laugh about it a second later.
Okay.
I was raised in a Western family. You know, that's what I know. You know, I'm not going to get the cops involved. Also, I took it 0 to 100. I definitely stood my
You did.
ground.
You
There's no
did.
reason for me to, you know, and Patriots had my back. There's no reason.
I know that there was this joke on the internet. This 4-foot woman
Yeah, 4-foot elderly woman.
Elderly woman.
I kept seeing it. I go, I don't think she's 4 foot tall. And then you commented on all of those. You're like, I'm not 4 feet tall. Like that was
I'm
that
going
was
with
like
4
you're
foot.
for a little while you were in there like fucking looking for it. I'm like, I'm not 4 foot. I'm not 4 foot. I'm not 4 foot. You didn't argue anything else. So I appreciate you guys. What you guys have done out there. Huge shout out to you guys. You guys have done amazing work out there exposing and done amazing work defending each other. So whoever fought back, not only in that video, whoever fought back and stopped those occurrences from happening, kudos to you guys. You deserve a Presidential Medal of Freedom in my eyes, right? That's the beauty of this whole movement. It's like we come from all over the place and we're all as passionate about it. And I think most of you know that this isn't a money thing. There's no money to be made in podcasting and fucking, yeah, if you're on the front page of Rumble, yeah, of course, you're fucking making a shit ton of money. But there's no money if you're fucking, what does X give you? Like $70 a fucking month for hits? I mean, yeah, well, $70
Shit,
a month
I don't
for
even
hits.
get anything.
Yeah, some people aren't monetized. You know, I don't have subscriptions, you know, on X. I do have a subscription only Substack, but you know, I write articles and stuff like that, but it's probably fucking pennies on the dollar. So I appreciate you guys. Any last words from you guys based on this article, and then I'll close out. Rob?
She's obviously fucking insane, first of all.
Mentally ill.
Yeah, that's too nice. That's really just too nice. I don't know, man.
Well,
Listen.
she's a raging cunt, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm actually glad that you let her speak and let her talk over you and let her yell and let her chimp out,
Yeah,
because it exposes exactly what she is. So, and if you can't see, if you were a neutral party coming into this live stream and you saw everything that was going on with her, then if you can't see that she is absolutely unfucking hinged now, then you're helpless.
Beyond unhinged. Like, all she did was make herself look fucking stupid because she couldn't have like a normal back and forth. She had to just keep talking over you and calling you every fucking name in the book. That doesn't that shows very low intelligence. It doesn't show the intelligence she says that she has, or the propensity for the intelligence that she has. She's a fucking retard.
Very, very Antifa of her to scream at you like that.
Enrique, when you were talking to her earlier, did she give any statistics, any proof of her comment saying that I'm sleeping with all of MAGA streamers? Because that's some bullshit.
Well, let me tell you something.
Well,
that's
that's
like
just
a
'cause they're
common,
different at you.
that's a common assault, like attack on a woman. Suddenly you see somebody that's pretty and you look like you do, as being Karlyn, and you look in the mirror in the morning, you're like, this bitch is sleeping with everybody, because nobody wants to sleep with you. You know, nobody wants to sleep with Karlyn. So
Typical hating-ass bitch.
of course she didn't bring any receipts to that, because that's the first line of attack when people are losing, is you find stuff like the Fed thing. I was going to talk about my Fed thing there in 2013.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
worked
fucking Fed.
I worked with the FBI, but I have those numbers. I took down over 30 sex traffickers, Mexican fucking national sex traffickers. 2 of them are sitting life in prison for what they did. So those numbers, I can show you those numbers. She cannot show me the numbers. She's like, oh, well, I got this one professor fired. There was multiple streams that day. And maybe you did. Maybe you helped push the envelope. But we've done so much more work than that. Again, not knocking. And Serena, I'm going to let you have a word in, and then I'm going to close out the show.
Okay.
Do it.
Oh, wait, right now?
Yeah, right now. Yeah. No, not later.
And action.
We've already been here for fucking 2 hours.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I
start my
knew
show an
you were
hour
coming
ago.
on, but I haven't wanted to deal with Karlyn myself.
Yeah.
And I just, I blocked her when she started slandering me, and, I kept peaceful, but then I get everything relayed back to me, without even asking. And it pisses me off. Like, you guys, Reno has especially like talked to me for a while, but like you guys have a good picture of me. I'm a genuine person. I obviously am not like a girly girl. I was in the military. I know how to fight and laugh about it. Every fight I've been in, I eventually laughed about it with that person, and that's just who I am. I don't have thin skin. I'm a genuine person. I don't do this for clout. I don't do this for money. Obviously, I don't get anything, and I have to travel 3 hours every time I go up to Portland. But, at the end of the day, she's showing her true colors. We're showing ours, And at the end of the day, she's just another leech, honestly. And so I think I could say for all of us, we are on the right side. We're on the right side. We're doing the right things.
We're the right side rebels.
Exactly.
She said it.
Except
She
me.
said
I'm
it,
the right
guys.
hook rebel.
She said it. There it is. That's a title.
Except for me. I'm the right hook rebel, and I'm the only right
Hell
hook
yeah.
rebel.
Right hook rebel. That's great, dude.
Hell yeah.
So let me finish this, and I think I've said my piece with what I feel, and I've said my piece with Karlyn. So I want to end this with advice to her, because for sure she's watching this and probably live right now. And I offer you the same advice I offered you the first time I commented on your thing. You might do some work. You might make some changes. You might make some changes in the culture. You might expose Antifa. But if you continuously bog yourself down in the drama and the people, you're not going to be effective. And the most important part about this is be effective, right? You could scream at the sky and yell the most honest and truthful things, but you'll never reach those people if you continuously just make your arguments about other people and the issues that you have with them.
And their small penises.
So, and their small penises. My shit hits the floor. Okay. My shit hits the floor. I mean, I got to lay on my belly, but it hits the floor. But to tell you, my Lululemons, yes. Everybody makes fun of me. But we had this argument. You just started this off. I might need to now. You know what? Episode 4 is going to be Serena, and we're going to talk about Lululemons and why it's the most based clothing company ever.
No.
Okay, I can't even speak on Lululemons because I don't know what brand that is. I don't wear them. I can't speak on it.
Enrique can because he has.
I could.
Dude, you're
and,
so
and
gay.
They created
So
the
gay.
name. I was going on a serious monologue here, but I'm going to go on a Lululemon rant. The creator of Lululemon, the reason
Dude,
why
just
he went with
finally
that
come out of the
name.
closet, will you please?
The reason why he went with the name Lululemon is because he wanted to make fun of Asians, because he knew Asians weren't able. This is a true story. Google this. He wanted to make sure Asians couldn't pronounce the name. He wanted the Asian to go Lululemon. So it is the most based clothing company. I'd say it's a close. I wouldn't even say it's close. I think it's the most based clothing company, and second would be our shop, 1776.shop. But I do want to give her my advice. Stay away from talking for people. Focus on your work. Dig in. And if it's your passion, you won't have to worry about what other people say. I don't care what other people say about my fucking show. We just do this. I lose a shit ton of money doing this. I love doing it. I love having Rob, Reno, Barry, even Patty. I love having them as co-hosts. I love having guests like Serena. I love having guests like Karlyn, because what we're doing is making major changes. Mark Levin said that with your little podcast, you think you're going to change your world with your little podcast. Yes, I do think that we're going to change the world with our fucking little podcast. Our little podcast, for having 2,000 followers, has almost 7,000 views right now. And I still haven't been able to break Rob and Kim's record of 27,000, and you guys argue who's first place there. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you.
No, you already called it. You said it was me, so
okay,
it is what it is.
It was me.
All right. Fuck you guys. We're out. Thank you for watching.
Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio is set to be arraigned following his arrest in Washington Monday night. Tarrio is suspected of setting fire to a Black Lives Matter banner stolen.
I'm not going to cry about a group of people that don't give a crap about their constituents.
They call themselves Western chauvinists. They're certainly male-dominated.
And this right here shows you the power when we, the right wing, unite.
Leader of the Proud Boys makes a stunning revelation.
I am a Western chauvinist who refuses to apologize for creating the modern world.
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
Breathe fire like a dragon killing demons. Go hard, yeah, we gotta seize the day. Hellfire raining down upon my people. If you're gonna bring the heat, we can bury it today.
other nations do people enjoy greater freedom, opportunity, and prosperity than here in the United States of America. USA! 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 USA!
Do you condemn those people? Can you say that right now?
Okay, I can't say that because I think
Why not?
condemn is a very strong word, and I think it's a little bit too strong. Because I'm the head of the organization and I know exactly what we planned and what we didn't plan, and we did not coordinate to assault the Capitol.
Enrique Tarrio is the Proud Boys' current leader. And over the past 4 years, he's seen the group grow from a few guys in a bar to thousands of members across the United States.
Right now, the most important thing that we have going for us is that we all share the same belief. The belief that we should put America first.